watch with history only, who's in trouble, who's in top, who's in the bubble. History only, who's in trouble, who's in top, who's in the bubble. Tourists. The observer. History only, who's in trouble, who's in top, who's in the bubble. History only, who's in trouble, who's in top, who's in the bubble. The observer.
I always thought this was the whole point of this country, that the people that are here at the moment in power, I'm not even talking about the government, just seem to be obsessed about causing division.
Mm-hmm.
And it scares me for the future. It really does.
Yeah.
And the trans community, the disabled community, in general, the black community just seem to be targets at the moment for the, you know.
Yeah.
Good morning, Miss Remi.
Hello, sweetheart.
I just felt compelled to come up here like I saw, because I'm a bit annoyed. Well, angry, but, you know. There's a couple of things. I've seen Sussy around the place. I was in Hustle's Live when the Black Doll thing happened. His excuses are vile. I didn't mean that. And jump now. If you're doing dare battles and you're putting stuff out like that and you didn't know it, shame on you for not being educated. There's no excuse.
There's none.
Absolute none excuse whatsoever. Dare battles should never be about attacking a community that you are not a part of.
Agreed.
I'm just done with him. I was done with him when I saw what he did with and Hustle challenged him, you know. As far as Kieran, I wasn't on live and I'm so upset because Kieran has taken the courage to come on live, you know, and he's a decent guy. He's a lovely guy. I've been in boxes in other people's lives with him. How dare Sophie and anyone else attack him or anyone else because they have things that they don't have, i.e. a disability. Do you know what I mean? You know, and now I've heard that she's taken pictures of other people's disabled children and put them in a group chat. I'm trying to reserve my language because I don't want you to get booted on me. You know, this app allows it and allows it and allows it. And it will implode in itself and one day we won't have TikTok. But while that is in process, people get hurt.
Yeah.
And I hear what you said. Why are you getting triggered? Because it wasn't said to you. Because some of us have been in that position. And even though it may not mean us today, we can relate back to it.
Absolutely.
You know, and I'm just so angry because after Hustle, I blocked Sussy. I couldn't be bothered with him. Yeah. I really don't be bothered with Levi or Sophie or anyone else, really. But this is just next level disgusting. You know.
It really is.
For all of us, you know, all protected characteristics, everyone that falls under that banner. Because when will it stop? You know, will it stop when somebody actually hurts themselves because of being on the receiving end of it? And that's really all I've got to say. I'm not appalled because we know how bad TikTok is. But
yeah, I think you're right. I think it's not so much appalled. I think we're just tired of just being disappointed by this, like, and seeing it happen over and over and over again. No one doubts that, Donna Marie. No one doubts that at all.
We're very smart cookie.
Yeah, no one would question that at all. It's just the lack of respect that people have shown towards him, exposing what he said. Thank you. exposing what he said on a private conversation. He felt really betrayed. He got upset about that last night. It was very awful to hear. And then Alex Brigham also played a clip of exactly, and having to constantly educate people in 2025. Like, come on. Alex Brigham played a clip of a live, and somebody'd written something in the comments, and I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember it exactly. But it was a comment about, I can't remember now. It was something like, to Sophie. It was something, again, paraphrasing, something along the lines of, you should never have used that word, the M word, or you know, you've got a child that's like that, and then she says something like, "Oh, sorry, what would you do if your child was an M?" And then Sophie says, "My child is one." Imagine referring to your own child as the M word. He's undiagnosed. They think he's got autism, undiagnosed. When she said, "My child is one," now her response was she meant my child. You know, does have disability. I'm serious, Lindsay. Like, it was a mic drop moment.
God help that child.
Correct.
That's all I've got to say. God help that child if the mum is saying that in a public forum for everyone to see. God help it.
I mean, that's an old term. Like I say, it's just...
You know what? It's like there's no excuse in 2025 about not educating yourself. In 2025, you have internet and God knows what. If you don't want to educate yourself and live in your own prejudice, that says more about you. And, you know, because I see it in a white privileged state, but I would like to think I've educated myself at 53 a little bit more than where I was at 10, you know?
Yeah. And for me, I don't even think it's about education. I think they are educated. I think it's a choice to be this way.
There is that as well, Miss Remi. There is that as well.
Because you can't say you don't know what cotton picking means. Oh, I didn't know it meant, or it was a reference to slavery. But you use it in the moment to make that joke and that point on that subject. But also you can't then say I didn't know what it meant.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 other things that could have been said right there.
Correct.
But,
it was a very random thing to put on a status or wherever if you did not know about it.
Right. It was.
You wouldn't pick that up and go, "Hello, I don't know about it, but I'll just sling it in there."
Out the blue. So this is what I'm saying. Like, I believe people do know. They are educated. They do know what racism is. They do know what ableism is. But you are actively making a choice to make jokes out of those situations. Because I'm not sitting out here educating no one. You lot are all big fucking people. You know right from wrong. You know we're living in an age where this shit is talked about continuously. It's on telly. It's in discussions. It's in magazines. It's in, like, the conversations have been happening now for decades. So for anyone, 25, 30-year-old, to say, "Oh, I didn't know the M word, you know, was used in this context. I didn't know that cotton picking was like to do with racism." Shut up.
It's all for views. It's
Of course it is.
money. All for views. They know damn well that the people that are saying the worst kind of stuff are getting the worst kind, you know, the biggest views. It's like going back to public executions. People used to stand and watch, and it feels like the same thing on TikTok now.
Yeah.
You know, people love to watch. Why do you think, you know, tailbacks occur on the other side of a motorway when there's a crash?
Yep.
People just love to rubberneck.
They do.
And it's like the voyeurism on this app for it just gives me the absolute ick. It really does.
It's just really sad. It's just really, really sad. And like I said, these are young people that are doing this, right?
It's their shortcut, you know, and it's the shortcut. And I think as well, they think I can repent and I can end up being the good guy in the end, but I'll use this as a shortcut to get in a huge platform.
Yep.
And I will help make myself money in the process, but then I can repent and I can say I've been educated and I'm really sorry. And then that's the other chapter that they can put in, because it all feels him this morning. I don't know who this guy is. I've never seen him before in my life, but he just felt like he was going to a script and he was enjoying it. And and then he'll do the repent act, and then he'll,
To be honest, he said sorry with the hustle thing. So if he really was sorry, he would have stopped then, wouldn't he?
Correct.
Pointing that out there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But yet,
Sorry, he's got cool.
But stayed in that chat with that.
That's all he's sorry about.
Correct. And I don't think he's even sorry about being caught. I mean, the way he was sitting in Miss Red's today.
Yeah, it's all part of the, he don't care.
No, he doesn't. None of them do.
Just talking with a smile on his face the whole way through.
Yeah. He doesn't care. It's all clout chasing.
Sorry, referring back to what Hevel's just said, they had car crash TV, and I think this is car crash TikTok, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I don't think it's helped by the fact that every single day within the government and on telly where they then report it, we're seeing every single day they have numbers for how many boats have been able to land or get across to this country. I don't think that helps at all, because what it does for those people who are of that nature, they then grab onto that as something else that's racist. Because they go in with their racist comments. We're constantly seeing currently with the current government the things that they're going to not do anymore for people with disabilities, and the changes that they're going to make within their policies, so that there's not as much money, there's not enough as much help, and all of those kinds of things. And with transphobia, the rhetoric for the last 2 years against especially trans women, it has been absolutely disgusting. And I think when people are seeing that as normality within government and within the media, they then bring it onto here and they're like, oh, well, everybody says it in the government and the media, so I'm okay to say it.
Yeah.
I mean, with the trans community, you're talking about, I don't know, what is it, 0.4% of the whole population? Yet we are obsessed about a trans woman using a bathroom and going for a wee.
Yeah, and
if a man wants, if a man wants to abuse women or girls, are they going to go and dress? And well, anyway, that's a different subject. Is that? And I'm going to drop down now. Remi.
Well, thank you for coming up, darling.
Because I've got my husband messaging me and my mum wanting a shopping list, because we are the frozen north up here at the moment. It was, I don't know what it was, -8 last night up here.
Was it?
And Remi, can you please call me Joe?
No, listen. I had this conversation with Lieutenant Newton yesterday. He said his real name, and I said, "Listen, you lot need to understand, right? I met my mods for a weekend. I spent Friday to Sunday with them, and do you think I learned any of their fucking names? Absolutely
Call
not.
me Joe, please.
Everybody, I called them by their TikTok names. I do not have the ability to remember 2 names for one person, so you will always be Hebel, even if I meet you in person, all right?"
Hebel, please look after yourself and your mental health as well. You're a very special person.
But no, lovely. Thank you for coming up, Joe. And I'm sorry you got upset. I just said your name. I said Joe.
Yes, you did. I've got you. It's so easy. That, you see, trips off the tongue much easier than Hebel.
Oh, I don't know, but I like Hebel.
But it makes me sound like a pebble.
All right, all I will say is I will try my best to remember, but don't get annoyed at me because I do forget a lot of things. And the only reason I know Deb's name is because I met her in real life. So, and she, she looks after my dog. So
oh my God, I'm 5 years postmenopausal. I've got chronic illness. My liver doesn't work. I've got brain fog. What else can I add? I'm just ADHD'd up to the max. At the moment, I've got a song going in my head. So, yeah.
That's why you fit in round here, babe, because we're all the same. We're all
I
fucked.
get you. Thank you for listening. And I'm really sorry for blubbing, but I just...
Oh, don't be silly. You can blub any
God's
time in
sake.
my boxes.
You know, Right.
Listen, have a good day and take care out in the cold, darling.
I'll have to go get live again, won't I, and do me first 10 minutes.
Yes, go live. We need you live. Can everyone follow Hebel, please? Because she's in my agency and she's awesome. So make sure you're giving her a follow as well.
Oh, thank
All right,
you.
Hebel, darling. See you soon. Big loves.
Bye.
Bye, babe.
Miss Remi, I'm going to drop. Thank
All
you
right, sweetheart.
for allowing me to voice my issues today so that I don't explode at TikTok all over. And thank you as always.
Oh, thank you for coming up, sweetheart. Big loves to you.
Bye.
Bye, darling. Hello, Pally.
I've joined because I just wanted to say really that not just on TikTok, but I actually believe this is a really huge issue right across the board. Whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Facebook, whether it's in politics, in generally day-to-day life, but people seem to think that they can say and do nowadays whatever they want and get away with it because we're living in a time where we have people in charge at the top who are doing and saying what they want.
Yeah.
And because of those people in charge and at the top, it filters down. And now they've got a huge sheeple following whereby their voices, they're deleting our voices because you can't keep up with them no matter what is. And I am talking about people like Nigel Farage, I'm talking about reformers, Donald Trump, Elon Musk, who's cozying up with Nazi parties in Germany at the moment, as well as interfering here. And you speak to people about boats and whatever else, and their heels are so far dug in the ground, they won't budge at all.
Yeah.
But they think they can say and do and behave exactly how they want. Things that you would never dream of saying. And it makes me think that these people were nasty in the first place. It's just giving them today's society, the people that are spouting this hate at the top, where it's filtering down. You know, it gives them the autonomy to be able to say what they want.
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, as a white person, you know, I'm on Facebook, I'm in groups now, and I'm arguing with people all the time. I'll argue with them till the cows come home. Do you know what I mean? In my own local Facebook groups against, you know, these people that are coming out with these vile comments, racist comments, whether it's transphobic or, you know, it's against disabilities or whatever. And I will argue now, and once upon a time I wouldn't, but I will now, because I think it's really important that people who believe in equality keep speaking, keep sharing, keep talking to everybody.
Yeah, you got to use your voice, and big up for doing that, Pally Ali.
I think it's so important, because otherwise we're going to get drowned.
I agree. All right, thank you for that, Kiki, my love.
All right, I'm going to drop down because I am supposed to be working, but I just wanted to
Get
say.
back to work, Ali. Bye, darling. Thank you for coming up.
Grand Rising, Remi.
Hello, Grand Risings, darling.
My voice is on one today. I'm dying.
You and me both.
I knew you'd be having a decent, sensible, calm conversation over here. I've stopped going in boxes so much that I just forgot how to mute and unmute when I came in. It took me I was like, oh dear, how do I do this again? I think But Remy, you're always on the mark, I think, with this one. Like, I think we tend to agree on most
Yeah,
things.
we do.
The odd differ, but yeah, generally we're on the same page when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah.
I think, mate, there's so much, isn't there? It's like, Lord God.
There's a lot, man. There's a lot going. It's been so heavy.
It really is. And I'll be honest, I mean, it was heavy from the moment that stuff started to come out.
Yeah.
But the moment I saw that picture of that innocent child in a supermarket with that is like it. You can't even use words like vile and disgusting, because I just feel like they don't hold what that is. Like, that is so inhumane. It is crazy to me. And when they say all these justifications around this is how people, it wasn't on the app. Well, that's okay then if it wasn't on the app. What I will say is there shouldn't even be a conversation of whether these messages come out, because it's good for this stuff to come out, however it comes out and whoever's involved, because we are very much, and I think this is what some of the people were touching on, we're in a society right now where people are very open with their views and their opinions.
Yeah.
And listen, just because your opinion disagrees with me, don't mean I'm necessarily going to hate you. I might disagree, distance myself from you, but might not give you any energy, but think what you want. If anything, I'm grateful that I know who you are, because you only have to show me once. Tell me who you are, and that's it. I've seen it. I'm done.
Right.
So at least we're seeing who these people are, or some of these people are. And as for the excuses, when it comes to whatever excuses, I can't even remember. There's been so many frigging excuses.
There's been so many excuses. I didn't know it was racism. It was in a chat. I didn't do it publicly, as if that makes it okay.
I just didn't know. Like, every single space, and I understand that people are thinking, oh yeah, but maybe people didn't know and we have to educate. No, listen, if any of us are saying this is an educational need, we're deluding ourselves, or we're trying to accommodate
Exactly.
this. Because there is no way in this period of time that half the stuff that is on there is an educational need. It is not. It is a choice. This is what you think. And also, if you didn't think it was wrong, people I use Sophie as an example because she's the main character right now in this.
Yeah.
You'd be saying this stuff in boxes when you were sat next to people. You'd be making these jokes very openly online because you're not aware of it. And then people would correct, but you're not. You're doing it behind the scenes with your circle of people.
Correct. And that actually does make it fucking dog. Sorry, hold on. That actually makes it worse, right? And then you add on to that. Let's add the next layer onto it. That you use your Cam 2 crew to sit there calling out other racist behaviour on the app.
Exactly.
Whilst in your private messages, you're doing this shit.
And we know a lot of these people, whether it's racist, whether it's disabilities, because there has been a lot of points are being made around, obviously, ableists are not being really, it's not being acknowledged, and we do definitely need to talk about that more. So regardless of what it is, these people get into these circles intentionally and have these people sat by them as a disguise. It's like a cover-up.
Yes.
You're being used when you're sat next to these people. Like I said, you only have to show me once. I might allow something once, but then if it happens again, there's no conversation on this for me. And also this whole narrative of people think now, especially on TikTok, but even in the real world, we walk away from people, there'd be riots. But on TikTok, it's this thing of, I'm going to come on with my little, I'm sorry, I didn't know speech. And then everybody has to forgive me. Or they turn off comments so that people can't comment. Or what do you want from me? Do you want this? Do you want that? What about the people that are on the receiving end of that? How they could be in all those positions that you're saying we want you in. Stop it. And the comments are allowed to have a voice. We see the same people that give voices, which is good because you need people that are going to stand up and be a voice. Again and again in these boxes, talking to these people, whereas you've got comments that have totally different views that are not willing to accept this behaviour, yet you're not listening to your comments, and your comments are the ones that are keeping your frigging platforms going, whether they are sat in your live, whether they are tapping, even if they're working and they're put a live on and they're doing nothing and they might drop a couple of words, they are still contributing towards everything you are achieving, and you are nothing without them. So stop cutting off the comments just because people don't want to get up in boxes and taking taking a small selection of people's opinions.
Yeah, it's true.
as a
No, you're so right.
a blanket acceptance. Do you know what I mean? I'm like
Yeah.
kind of done with the madness that goes on.
It
And
is.
people expecting to forgive people or expecting to move on or seeing people go off on one and then the next minute you're sat next to these people. Just you chose to forgive them don't mean the rest of us have or we're expected to. And then when we call you out or people have their opinions on that, like I just keep my mouth shut a lot of the time now, but when people do get called out, it's like, well, how can you call me out? I chose to do this. Well, okay, you chose to do this, but we're still allowed to hold our feelings too.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I agree with you, Kiki. I agree with you, girl. Thank you for that, darling. Daz, good morning. Good afternoon, technically.
Hello.
Hello.
But I've got an opinion on this.
Go on.
I've got an opinion. We need
Hold
to
on,
go back.
before you give your opinion, can I just say, I've got somebody called John in the box waiting to come up. You've got 0 followers and you're not following anyone and you're not even following me. There is absolutely 0 chance you're getting in my box, my love. But thanks for swinging by. Go on, Daz.
Right, as you know, I'm very opinionated. But I think we need to go back to the 1980s.
Why?
We need to hire the NEC. We need to put all these people in the NEC without a phone to hide behind. And let's see how big they are then. Because in the 80s, I learned a very, very, very harsh lesson about microaggression. Yeah.
Tell us.
And I'll tell you the story. And he was a mate of mine. We went out and England were playing Tonga. Mm-hmm. And I just looked at him and smiled and said, "Shouldn't that be a Tonga shirt you're wearing? Because you're wearing an England shirt." And I tell you what, he nearly took my head off. And I went, what's your issue, dude? He said, "You go and think about what you've just said." And when I actually sat and thought about it, I could see it was a microaggression. But that was before microaggressions were a thing, if you see what I mean. But looking back at it now, you can see why he got upset about it.
I'm not going to lie, Daz. I'm sorry, because you know I'm quite special. I zoned out at the start of your story. Could you say? What? Right, I heard England Tonga, and then I've zoned out. I'm sorry.
Right, I went out with a couple of mates. Yeah. And this guy was an actual mate of mine.
Right. Okay. And can I just ask? Does your mate have the same skin colour as you?
No.
Okay. Carry on.
No, he was darker than dark chocolate. He was
You can just say black, but carry on.
No, he was really,
He's black.
really,
Just carry on, Daz. Come on.
But I turned round to him, and we were going out to watch the game, and he had an England shirt on, and I just cheekily said to him, "Shouldn't that be a Tonga shirt you're wearing?" And he nearly flattened me.
Well, fair.
But that was before, as far as I'm aware, microaggressions were a labelled thing. And I learned a very important lesson that day.
Wait, can I just ask, what did he say to you when you said that?
He basically didn't. He just raged and he just went off on one and swung at me.
And did you understand in that moment why that happened, or did it take you a little while to realise?
It took me a little while to figure it out.
Okay.
It took me a little while to figure it out, you know. But you learn these lessons in life. Yeah.
Yep.
And then you either change the way you handle these things, or you carry on being a dick.
Yeah.
And all I can see from these people is they're just carrying on being a dick, but they try and keep it behind closed doors. And what I think is happening with the Cam 2 crew is virtue signalling. It's virtue. So I can't be racist. I've got a black friend. Yeah, and then behind closed doors, they're doing all this.
Yeah.
And it's like the public face is of nicer than nice, and then behind closed doors, they're just arseholes.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm kind of glad you had that lesson, right? Because maybe if you didn't have that lesson from your friend, you may not. Yeah. Basically, but and let's keep it at 100 with this, because a lot of people have been saying this a lot, and we've even seen this happening with TikTok, right? That people come on this app and say wild shit, and they'll say things like, oh, it's just an app, it's just an app. And we've already started to see that things have been taken off the app, whether it's things coming to your house or people getting in their cars to go and meet people face to face. And the thing that we keep hearing more and more is that when you let your mouth run wild, whether you're being transphobic, whether you're being racist, whether you're being ableist, whatever, that things can then turn up in your real life. And you've had a real life situation that's made you realize, oh shit, like, you know, I need to check myself with things that I say and how I behave. And I'm almost glad you had that experience. And the problem with this app is that I think a lot of people who are dangerous with their mouths on this app don't realise the real world consequences that could happen to them. We know from Sophie Bailey's behaviour already that social services are now involved in her life because of how her mouth has operated on this app, and people have taken action. And I just think people really need to stop saying this is just an app, this is just an app, because there are real life consequences that could happen.
Did nobody learn anything from the Corey Wilde situation?
Correct.
You know, I mean, that was so public and blatant that the real world will catch up with you.
100%. 100%. It will do.
And nobody has learned anything from that.
Well, it's not even that. What about when DG got in his car and drove up north to go? Was he going to see Birdman? To go and, like, do you know what I mean? Have a face-to-face. It's like Torian driving off to go and meet Tam. Like, people will get in their cars and come and fuck shit up. Like, it's crazy what's happening. So I just think, you know, people just need to be very careful on this app, like thinking that being ableist is funny or a joke or racist or transphobic or homophobic. Listen, real world consequences will catch you. Yeah.
And it's frightening how fast they can.
Yeah. Go on, Cakes.
Remi, whether it's the it's just an app, whether it's I'll sit with whoever I want to sit with, all these things that we hear time and time again, to me, come across as just a shutdown. It's a way to shut people down and say, what are you going to say now?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, do you know what I mean? There's no argument left. And I think you just reminded me when you mentioned what Sophie said when she was referring to her own child.
Yeah.
I think that was just I think she initially, because obviously it was all very spur of the moment, that was used like somebody saying, but I've got a black friend, I've got and then straight away realised, oh my God, I shouldn't have said that.
Yes.
But that's how it was intended. It was intended like, I can't be that because I have this.
Yes. Even though you're referring to your own child as a MONG. But yeah, you're exactly right.
Her brain wasn't moving quick enough, should we say.
Sorry, I didn't hear that last bit you said, sorry.
Sorry, no, I said her brain was literally like, she was having to think on the spirit. Like,
yeah.
And so
You're
she didn't
absolutely right.
think that through. Because you'll notice she's very good at keeping quiet. And I don't think that's because she's just listening. I think, one, because she don't care. Two, because she's thinking through her answers and what she's going to say, because she's a smart girl on some levels. And three, because she's probably got someone on the end of the phone or with her guiding and advising.
Correct. She's got Olivia Pope. Levi.
It's nothing to do with her actually sitting and listening and taking things in.
Yeah, I agree. I fully agree.
I didn't realise that SS had been involved now.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's what happens. A lot of people get social services called. There are people on this app who've lost their kids from being on this app. Like, you know, whether it's the police coming to your house, the ambulance, or social services, like, this is not just an app. And the things that you say have real life consequences. There are a lot of disabled people who could go and file police reports based on the screenshots that we've seen. There are a lot of black people that could go and report to the police based on screenshots that have been exposed and that they have admitted to sending. Like, real world. This is real world shit.
But what annoys me is the people that send ambulances to people like Marcus Ems and Angie all the time. They could kill someone.
Of course. It's fucking awful.
It's ridiculous.
It is. That slightly takes us off the topic a bit, Daz. But yeah, the point is correct. But yeah, let me hear from H, because I know H will have some stuff to add to this conversation, particularly around the ableism thing. I would imagine they would want to contribute towards this conversation.
Definitely. You know me. I've always got something to say.
That's why we love you, H.
As far as the ableism thing goes, I've got 2 disabled children and I'm disabled myself. The amount of people, like Sophie, when it was all coming out, said the R word, the full word, more than once, as well as the M word, referring to her own child. And I'm sat there thinking, people are far too comfortable using slurs on the internet because we've got this relationship with social media that we can hide behind our screens, say whatever we want, and we don't really think about the real life consequences.
Yeah.
Because you're not just saying it on a screen or on a text message. What you're saying can affect people.
Yeah.
And there's no accountability. There's no, well, she annoyed me, did Sophie. She kept going, oh, I'm sorry. And I'm sat there thinking, you can say you're sorry all you want, but unless you go away and you do the research and you understand why you've offended people, there's no amount of sorries that's going to make that okay.
No. I agree.
It's just a case of people have got so comfortable with social media that they think it's okay to be racist or ableist or homophobic or transphobic. And I'm thinking, would you say this in real life though? Would you say this to a person that you see in the street? Because if you're not going to say it to that person in the street, don't say it at all. It's just not, it's the 21st century, for God's sakes. We haven't why are we not moving on as a society that we accept everybody for who they are? And if we don't understand something, we go away and we research it.
Yeah.
Which is what I did myself during the height of Black Lives Matter in 2020. I did so much research because I didn't understand. I wasn't checking my privilege. I was like, well, it doesn't affect me. But then I sat back and went, no, it doesn't affect me because I'm white and I have a privilege to hide behind. And I had so many arguments with people. They were like, well, I'm not privileged. And I'm like, you're not understanding. White privilege doesn't mean, oh, I've got a load of money and all this. It means that you are never judged or persecuted for the colour of your skin. And we as white people will never fully understand what that feels like, to be persecuted just because of the colour of your skin for something that you cannot control.
Yep.
And it absolutely breaks me as a person. So I avoided the app this week because I think being able to throw around the N-word like it's just a casual, like something you do every day, it's not okay. Using racial slurs and transphobic slurs in the middle of an argument because you're pissed off at that person is never okay. You lose the moral high ground. And it's not a case of, oh, well, they said this, so I can say that. That's not how it works. You lose the moral high ground when you decide to go playground antics. That's what it's like being back at school. Or using slurs against each other because you think you can. Like, what? It just is derogatory for both movements.
Of course it is.
Because it's just, I literally can't understand it. I sat and I watched Torian and EQ going at each other, and I'm thinking, you're both offending each other's communities here.
Yeah.
How is this helping? How is this educating anybody? And then EQ's on a soapbox going, well, I'm now the face of the trans movement. And I'm thinking, you're one trans person. That's like me getting on my soapbox and going, because I've got disabled kids, I am now the face of the disabled community. We should be supporting each other. We should be all getting together and going, right, we need to educate people. And then those people can go away and educate themselves. Because nobody's getting educated. We're all throwing slurs at each other, and no one's going, hold on a second, maybe we should step back a minute. The internet is free. It's a free thing for everybody. Google's free. Let's go to Google and maybe do some research and read some books on why this is such an issue. Rather than throwing slurs at each other. It honestly, it does, it baffles my brain. Absolutely baffles my brain.
No, it's awful. And I spoke earlier, I genuinely, in this scenario that we're talking about with the Sophie Levi Sussy situation. I genuinely believe it's not even about education, because I think they all know what's what, and at this point it's a choice that they're making to behave this way. And Courtney, who's in the box, I saw a lovely moment yesterday where Sophie 100% embarrassed herself talking about white privilege and talking about, I grew up in the slums, I'm not privileged.
The amount of arguments I've completely fallen out with someone that I've known since I was a baby, because I had arguments with her during Black Lives Matter where she was kicking off about the protest, and I went, they are peaceful protests. You don't understand. She's like, I'm like, you need to check your privilege. And she's like, oh, well, I grew up like this. And I'm like, you're not understanding. Like, please Google what white privilege means. It's not about what money you've got and how you grew up. I grew up on a fucking council estate. It's not about that. It's about the fact that you have never, ever, and never will be persecuted for the colour of your skin.
Correct.
And someone in the comments said that grown-ups shouldn't need educating, but it's the way you grow up. My granddad, who's no longer with us, was extremely racist, and I watched that growing up, and I was like, that's just the way that they were raised. And a lot of it is, if you're not raised around it and it doesn't affect you, you don't think about it. This is like, that's the ableism.
Yep.
People who haven't got like people in their lives that are disabled, don't do the research into why those words are offensive. It's the same with the LGBTQ plus community. If you're not part of that community, you don't know the history, you don't understand the struggles, and it's just a case of stepping back and going, yeah, maybe it doesn't affect me. Maybe I am protected by my privilege. But maybe being a decent human being, I should stop and think about how that other person's feeling and 100%. What they've been through and the struggles they've been through to get where they are.
100%.
It doesn't take much time out of your day to be a decent human being and go, I wouldn't want to be treated that way, so why am I treating someone else that way?
Yeah. No, I totally agree, H. I totally agree. Thank you for coming up and.
Sorry, I get rather passionate on the subject, and then
do not apologise ever. And do you know the thing that? Shut up, TJ. The thing that you know, a lot of people keep saying is that, you know, there's not enough conversations around transphobia, there's not enough conversations about ableism, and I'm really glad today that we've had disabled people come up into this box, and not just H, we've had other people in here earlier sharing their experiences and how using the R word and the M word affects them personally. And people need to understand that just because you haven't said it to that person directly, it still can have an impact on people who have been called those words their entire life, and people have been genuinely upset by it. I just wanted to just say good afternoon to Courtney, because I just mentioned her, and yesterday I thought you did really well yesterday, Courtney, calling out Sophie.
Thanks. I mean, I did snap when I got through.
It was good. It was needed.
Yeah, I can't help it. You know, when this is where I used to do debates, and a lot of the debates I did do was trans debates, but sometimes I wasn't the great person because I got easily frustrated and I would easily shout that out at them. But I think my honest opinion with this whole situation, I think, like others have said and like you've just said, I think they know that they know they're doing wrong.
Of course.
And that's the issue. Look at Sussy. I'm going to go back to Sussy. Sussy wanted to mention Top Girl's religion to hurt her. So that instantly is, you're putting hate. He admits to being an atheist. Now, I don't believe in God, but I will respect and stand up for any religion anyone will discriminate against, because it's the right thing to do. Like, everyone should be allowed to believe in what they want to believe, and they should be protected to do so, just like I am able to do that. The same with like Sophie. Now, I've actually known Sophie for a little bit of time. I used to kind of speak to her now and again. Levi keeps mentioning something, and I don't know if you noticed that in Misread. He mentioned something about Sussy doing things on a 13+ app.
Yes, I noticed that.
But I don't want to be rude, and I will never go against girls. Girls, you do what you want to do. But how can he say that when Sophie is wearing lingerie on a 13+ app? Like, you know, it's double standards.
Listen, like I don't know if you was in the room earlier, but I've described Levi as the Olivia Pope of TikTok, and quite frankly, he's on the biggest PR campaign to save Sophie, even when it is clearly fucking madness situation is mad, and the hypocrisy is just wild, Courtney. Yeah, it's wild.
It's just
I did notice that.
deflection. When I was doing my live straight after it, he was in my comments. He wouldn't come in the box, and he just kept going, well, Alex has done this and all of this, and he just kept saying different people. And it's like, but that doesn't matter. And people kept coming in the box, obviously mentioning what Top Girl said in the past and things like this. And I'm just like, I just want to, for once, stick to the conversation, because we do this a lot. And that's where, not hate towards Mr. Ed, this is not me saying that, but sometimes the conversation, because some people then deflect it to another person, like Levi was doing in the room, and he does it very well, because he wants the conversation to bounce to something else, so it's no longer talking about Sophie.
David, you with chocolate? I think he is. I think he is. Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah, I am. Chocolate, say hi.
Oh, hello.
Chocolate! Oh, I love that. Yeah, no, absolutely. Thank you, Courtney. The deflection is real, but the thing is that like now the shit's been exposed. Like people can't hide now. Like we've all seen it. Whether it's the horrific ableist things that have been shared as jokes, the ableist things that have been said about people, where she talked about her own child when Alex sort of played that comment and then she agreed with it, the MONG word. It's just awful, but also the racism stuff that's been shared, the cotton picking pictures, the George Floyd references, and again, my real thing with this is that we're talking about people in their mid-20s, early 30s, right? These are young people who grew up and went through the Black Lives Matter fucking movement, right? That was everywhere, like everyone from like 3-year-olds to 99-year-olds knew about the George Floyd situation and the Black Lives Matter movements, because it was everywhere. So how anyone can, use that as content for joking or mocking, it's just disgusting, really. I just
wanted to make one last point, and then I'll let others speak. I literally sat in his live this morning, and the amount of people that were like, they've clearly never watched Frankie Boyle. They've clearly not watched Chubby Brown. Now, Chubby Brown, I don't know a lot about, but I'm pretty sure he's not a comedian of nowadays, is he? He's quite an older comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know anything I've not personally seen, but I know of him. Frankie Boyle has literally been cancelled because he went and mocked a disabled child. So that's not a very good person to be using as Frankie Boyle this, because he's literally been cancelled from TV for the stuff that he has said. So
again, it's just showing ignorance
between these two, Courtney and Remi. What the hell?
You are the chocolate Dame sandwich, TJ.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, baby. What do you want to add to this conversation, TJ? You're between the two.
I don't know if I can with these two. Oh, thank God. So I think my frustration, I'm not even going to look at the screen with these two. So my frustration is purely this, is that, with ever-changing words, phrases, all that sort of stuff, people can make mistakes, people can say things that are wrong, and I just think if you admit to it, put your hands up and say, look, I didn't understand that meaning, I get it now, I'm sorry. Simple as, then people can move on, people can take things differently. And it's happened on this app. I've done it where people have come up with phrases and I've gone, look, I can see that you didn't mean it, you were talking about it in a different way. The problem is when you get a pattern of behaviour and then people excuse it. Pattern of behaviour shows type of character. And you cannot say that on 1, 2, 3, 4 occasions, it was all mistakes. It just doesn't wash. And people can take that how they want. They can change their relationships with people. That's fine. But I think my problem with Sussy this morning is, and I've told him this before, is that it comes up and minimises his part in it. And I may believe that he didn't know all those things about it. I may believe that he was shocked and in an awkward position when she was saying these things that he is saying that she is saying on multiple occasions. But then you can't keep popping up into boxes, minimizing your part into it, and then acting like the hero by outing some others. As far as I'm concerned, you and your whole messy group of either down low, outright, forward-thinking racists have just outed each other which is for our benefit. So you've done us all a favour by outing all of your crap, by
Right.
being petty and, you know, tit for tat each other. So
Yeah.
you've done us all a favour, and
100%.
however we then react is our own to do.
Absolutely. And also, somebody said it earlier in the box, like, we just hope that, you know, people stop going into their platform and supporting them, and other big creators stop platforming them. Like, they're not apologetic. For me, this feels like a massive clout chasing exercise to grow a platform. Nobody seems to give a fuck. Sussy doesn't. Sophie is the lips are making sounds of like, oh, I know I've done wrong, but genuinely I don't feel like she's taken anything on board. And Levi, like I said, is just Olivia Poping right now. And we just need to stop giving them airtime. But I think also these conversations should still be happening and being talked about it, because, you know, no one's saying like one derogatory sort of matter is more important than the other. Like, for me, it's, yeah, Dame, 2 secs. For me, it's really important that we keep talking about the ableism stuff that's happened, as well as the racism stuff as well. Thank you.
And this isn't snowflake culture either, though, Remi. Just the last bit. This isn't snowflake culture. This is continued ridiculous behaviour of racism, ableism, and mocking disabilities across the board. So it's a multitude of stupidity and race and all that sort of stuff.
Mohammed, could you kindly put the volume down, please? Down, please.
Yes, Mr. Driver, turn the volume down. Thanks.
Excuse me, please be very kind to my taxi driver, okay? What I would like to say is, guys, could you all follow me, because I do box battles? Thank you so much.
I hate you, Dame. He's such a third.
Have you more? Everyone follow me right now. Immediately.
Everyone give him a follow. The clout chaser.
Mod me now so I can dump him from the box. That is wild.
TJ, you're being demodded as well, by the way.
I should be in the top box.
You're not in the click.
Oh, right, rude. Bye.
Dane, what's your thoughts on this Sophie Levi situation? What's your thoughts and feelings?
My honest opinion is people are outraged a lot more compared to so they were really outraged about what they said, what the disabled comments that they spoke about. But I feel like the worst one, obviously all of them are bad, but the worst one was the one when they spoke about like the image of slavery, like the last image that was in that group chat. That was probably the most awful thing that they could have ever posted, and that has like deep-rooted racism. Like you can have like mild racist comments and that sort of thing, but when you're having like that sort of mentality, you have deep-rooted issues.
But see, this is where it's difficult, right? Because everyone is going to have their. This is where we need to not. I'm not saying that you're making a competition. I don't mean it like that. But this is where we need to be careful, because that, in my opinion, I think that is bad. But I do think, because the fact she took a picture of a child,
the disabled child,
but not even just that, the fact that she's taken a picture of an innocent child, that. Why I think a lot of
I think that I 100% think that that's completely wrong. But I feel like before this got released about the child, I feel like everyone kind of swept it under the rug that she spoke about slavery in such a. But it was like a joke for her, and that was a genocide. That thousands and thousands of black people were unalived.
Yeah. But this is the thing, because unfortunately, and this is what happened is, and this is where drama talk is so frustrating, because this is where, in my opinion, we need to, as I was saying, we need to stick to the problem at that time and just stick to that problem, because it was all happening at the same time as the Torian, EQ, AJ, Mad Hatter, all of that stuff, where there was a lot of racism and transphobia and all of that stuff. So everything was just getting all muddled together. So while people are trying to have conversations about Sophie and Levi, then the EQ and Torian stuff got brought up again, and it just all became a muddle that there wasn't a flow of the conversation.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. It did get messy.
But I also feel like is usually when it comes to certain people, certain creators speaking about it. It's all about whether it benefits them. Well, she made herself look even worse because she went and stood around Delusive Angie, who also spoke about genocide when it comes to Palestinians.
Yep.
So, and she said bunda Palestinian children.
Yeah, so that's happened because I know that last night Angie was very upset the fact that Pearl obviously had her live, which was spur of the moment. That wasn't even like something that was planned. She literally was just like, found out that Levi had been speaking about her, so she went live, and then Sophie came in the box. So now Angie's obviously thinking, well, this is going to get me all my views. And then she's turning it about herself. She's like, well, why is everyone saying that I can't speak on it and blah, 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 and then saying that we can't speak on about it because we've done stuff wrong. Like, I've never been discriminating on this app. So I will talk about it until my dying day because I've never done anything to attack a whole community of people.
Yeah.
Also, just quickly, before we move too far on, because sometimes I know the conversation just flows and then we get left behind, I think terms like that, obviously some things are very, very deep-rooted, very deep-rooted in history, but labeling some things mild racism is dangerous. We shouldn't be saying some things are mild racism and some things are more in-depth racism, and that's the same with whether it's racism, whether it's transphobia, whether it's anything else. So we just need to be careful when we start saying things like mild racism.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sussy did that this morning in Miss Reds. He described the jokes that were the racist jokes that were being sent amongst them as being subtle. It was just a subtle bit of racism.
I feel like that was a bit my fault, I'm not going to lie, because when I was talking to him,
it's always AJ's fault.
It's always my fault, Miss Remi. I was trying to explain to him, like, implicit, explicit, subtle, like micro, macro, and I think he took it more on, oh my God, I got a sub! Yes!
Lords, can you behave yourself, please? Giving out,
Can I get a sub?
giving out the subs. Look at her flexing because she loves Paigey. Look at her.
I'm really happy. Dane, why the hell didn't you send me a sub in here?
Grow up.
You grow up.
Okay, do you know what, Paige? Sleep on the street.
No, don't.
Also, where are we going, please? And why was Miss Remi not invited?
I invited myself.
Miss Remi,
I'm looking at you, Paigey.
I literally basically was in a box yesterday, and I decided I'm sick of staying at home miserable. So I invited myself. It's all lads. I've invited myself to a lads' night out. It's literally all lads. It's like Chocolate Dame, Governor Chris, Dave.
CG, thank you for my subscription. Shut up, Paigey. Let me say thank you.
Look at CG trying to buy everyone's loves. All right, let's get back to the topic. Come on, Paigey. Come on, babe. What was
So with him, I feel like because we was all discussing macro, you know, like I said, implicit, explicit, all these things, I feel like he's taking it as you can have mini racism and like big bits of racism, and now he thinks that like some isn't worse than the other. That's not what that's not what I meant, but I feel like that's how he took it.
But also, Dame just said it when he was talking. That's why I picked up on it again.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it's the whole thing. I was watching bits and bobs.
Can I just say one more thing and then I'm going to drop?
If it's about box battles, I swear to God, I will get in my car. I'll find where you are.
Yeah, box battles at 1 p.m. and 8 p.m. But that wasn't it. The last thing I want to say is, you are who you hang around with, and if you hang around with racists, you'll become one. You get, and it is a deep-rooted thing that the way that they are, their mentality, you can tell that they find it funny. That kind of group is they find it normal to speak about slavery, speak about genocide, and they don't have that heart. And that's all I want to leave it on.
That's very trust.
Thank you. Dame, you're running late for your own box battles.
I'm not doing it because I'm gonna touch grass.
Aww.
I'm touching grass.
Touch grass now.
Yeah, and
I'll jump out the car.
we spoke on this earlier that in my genuine opinion is that this isn't about education at this point. This, I think they know what racism is, they know what ableism is, and they're making a choice to, in their private group chats, to have these disgusting conversations and jokes amongst themselves. And I think the thing that is astounding is that they've had this platform where they are calling out other racist behaviour on the app and then doing this in private, which is just...
This is what shocked me about Sophie. Like, Sassy, I've always been on the reserve just because, you know, he's done certain things and he's made certain jokes, and I kept it on the back burner with him. Sophie very much shocked me. I knew she was obviously from certain circles, but the actual like depth and like deepness of her like racist jokes, I was saying it's not even like she was saying it like, I don't know, say she's got like a black best friend or a partner or whatever, and they're doing like racial stereotype banners towards each other, you know, like some people still don't like it, but simple things like little minute things like, oh, don't be too loud, and he'll be like, oh, don't season your chicken, you know, little things like that, yeah. People still get offended at that even, right? So that's still a sensitive type of topic in a room. But to sit there as two white people and talk about cotton picking and slavery and ableism and disabled kids, like that is like in terms of evilness, do you know what I mean? In terms of like that, yeah, like I can, maybe people get led, maybe people feel awkward. Like I've excused a lot of behaviour because of people not knowing how to handle it, right? But that kind of behaviour right there, that's what shocked me. And the thing is with Sassy, he is now trying to do, because he's being smart, trying to be like, oh, I was awkward offended, but Sassy is not an awkward guy. Like, I don't like hate him or anything like that, don't get me wrong, but like he wouldn't have brought it out unless they were coming for each other, and you were laughing, you weren't uncomfortably laughing, you were just laughing, and now it's a get back. The fact that you only thought, oh, that's a bit because you've screenshotted it for your own backup in case she ever did anything like she did to you, that on its own is not wanting to out someone. That's just holding stuff in case they fire shots at you one day, isn't it?
You sat in those conversations while these racist and these ableist jokes are pinging backwards and forwards, and no one's saying nothing because it's funny and you're kikiing, right? Mm-hmm. And then when you will fall out, now you want to come and spill the tea, and now you want to play the hero, and it's like, no, wait, you're all...
Oh, sorry.
Courtney, just quickly, sorry. Did you, in that video of Levi, was he trying to imply Pearl was civil with me on that live and she's faking it and planning something? Because that's what the vibe
I don't know if he was making out you or her. It's hard for me to get it. I'm not going to lie. I was really confused.
He said, and everyone thinks Pearl is being civil with Paige now.
Yeah, so I think it was shade at her, to be honest.
I think he's saying that she's been chatting shit still, or is planning. That's the vibe I got from it.
No, I don't. See, I don't, personally myself, I do think Pearl just wants it ended. That's my honest opinion. You guys know I literally on the same page as you with Pearl.
No, I think she does, but I think he was digging her out.
Yeah, no, I do as well. I think
look
so.
What he did to, Remi. Look what he did to Kieran.
Yeah, what? That was awful last night.
What?
He told Pearl that Kieran doesn't like her. Like on a phone
call. They told Pearl that Kieran... What?
And Kieran got upset yesterday and wanting to leave the app. Like, it was awful. And I don't really want us to derail this conversation too much as well, and bring it onto Pearl and all of that stuff. But... And I 100% do not, you know, we've had lots of disabled people come up in the box today and talk about how this has affected them as much as the racism stuff will, of course, affect the black community. But the, you know, things like referring to Kieran as an MONG, referring to her own child as being one of them, you know, MONGs. Like, we are talking about a person whose moral compass is very much lost.
Yeah,
it's not even low, it's lost, unfound, undetectable. Like, it's horrific, and I just want to make sure we are having all sides of this conversation. We've had, like I said, we've had a lot of voices up here from the disabled community today, and I will always talk about all of the things. Like, it's not just what, because it's all fucking bad. Transphobia is bad, racism's bad, ableism is bad,
She's just done them all in one fell swoop of a week, Remi. Bloody hell, it's
We've
ridiculous.
had it all this week.
Something you might not have seen yet, Remi, and I'm not trying to do this as a self-promotion, but I've also posted a video on YouTube of her mocking child essay. Well,
so she's really just done it all then.
I haven't seen that.
So she was in like a live. It was her friend Ashley's live or something, and a few other people was in the live. And one of them had said something like, how can we get the views up, or blah, blah, blah. And then they started speaking about, blah, like, see it, it's bad. And then there's a lot more into it, like mocking consent, and putting negativity towards, like, you know, like the usual, like the quite, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, you know, when they're like back at school, you remember when people would say, oh, you're so gay because you look like this and all of that kind of stuff. There was that kind of comments happening. Like, it's just everything. And, you know, Levi says he unmutes. I've not seen that. It wasn't in the clip. I did not screen record it, but I couldn't see it anywhere in the screen recording unless there's another clip where he does unmute and says something, but I've not seen that. So I'm not saying he didn't do it because I've not seen it.
All right. And is did you say link for your YouTube? It's in your profile, is it?
Yeah.
All right. I'll have a look at that. I haven't seen that, but you know, this girl is literally ticking every offensive box that is known to man at this point.
Sorry, Miss Remi, can I just jump in very, very quickly because I've got to go for a doctor's appointment.
Go for it, Queenie. Go on. What do you want to
contribute? Darling. Two things. I speak very, very slowly. I know a lot of people say I'm really boring in the comments. I speak very slowly because I take a lot of medication that makes me speak very, very like a zombie. So
that's fine, Queen Ree. This slow speak is fine, but can I ask we all just get to the point quickly?
Yeah.
Sorry.
So what I'm saying is these type of people are the ones that will not say it to your face, but you'll have them mutter it as they walk past you. So, you know, the M word, the S word, the R word, everything. They may not have the balls to say it to your face, but they are certainly the ones that will mutter it as they walk past you. And you are the company that you keep. And once again, cliche, someone shows you who they are, acknowledge it and take it. If somebody shows you who they are the first time and you think, oh, okay, there's a smidgen of doubt here, the second time that they show you, it's them. So just walk away from that. And I think we've all become so desensitized to all of the bullshit that goes on an everyday basis, and not enough people talk out, not enough people speak out, especially on this app, because they think, oh my God, if I say something, somebody's going to come back with a rebuttal, or my little skeletons are going to be exposed. If you don't have any skeletons in your closet, even if you do, speak out.
Yeah, I agree.
Say it. And that's all you have to do. But with that, love you all. Thank you, and I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, Queen Ree, darling. Big loves.
Bye, love.
Bye, darling.
Bye. This is part of the problem, right? We know she's been saying these things for how long? This isn't anything new. She's been saying this stuff for quite a while, even based off like the messages we've seen. God, my throat's dying by a sec. And there's been people around that have been seeing this time and time again, yet they're still chosen to sat with her, whether it's in public or private.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're sitting with these people still, you can't come back later and be like, make any excuses for it. Like we said, we've heard from people today, and myself included, we've dropped our real life friends for things that don't align with our morals. Yet on an app, we choose to back our friends or stay by them or do this or just justify behaviour. And until that stops and they haven't got people around enabling them, you can't say much.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Sorry, I was just trying to...
But then...
Stop the barking dog. Sorry to just interrupt. Pinky's been up here for a while, and I know she wants to add something to this conversation as well. Pinky, darling, thank you for waiting patiently. What would you like to add to this conversation, darling? She's probably fallen asleep at this point. Oh shit! We're tapping at the same time. I'm sorry. I'm removing my hands, Pinky. Sorry.
You just don't want me to talk, Remi.
I'm sorry, Pinky. I love you. I'm sorry.
I love you. It's all right. It's okay. Like, I got really upset, to be honest, at the beginning of the week when something else was said about the slur words. As a mother of a child that is very severe on the autistic spectrum, on learning difficulties and other bits, got very rare chromosome deletion, who will always need support to live. He really, really will need me for the rest of his life. Okay? So when people say these kinds of things, it's a knife, it's
All
a
right, go
thing
on,
straight into. I forgot about TikTok words. Do you know what I mean? Straight into your gut.
It cuts you
And
deep because it's so real for you.
Yeah, yeah. And, taking a picture of a vulnerable child and just to post that around, I think is vile. Not just the things that were said, but why is there a picture of a vulnerable child? Do you know what I mean? That's another.
Well, Pinky, she would say, well, I didn't put it public, so it doesn't matter, does it? Because it was just between me and my friend, so it doesn't matter, does it? It don't matter, does it, Pinky?
Of course it matters, because with people have got a thing, I don't know what the word is, but you have to have a thing to protect people of vulnerability, whether they're a child or whether they're an adult. You can't just be posting pictures of people who are not in capacity of mind.
100%. It's deplorable she even did that.
It's a vile fucking thing. It's dirty and it's disgusting. And I'm sorry that I'm swearing, but that's how I feel about it. And that's all I wanted to say. So thank you.
Listen, like no one can argue with that. Like, we've talked about so many things, like my head is spinning, from the racism, the ableism, the taking pictures of other people's children, let alone disabled children in wheelchairs, mocking it, saying disgusting things about it, sending cotton picking pictures around, mocking George Floyd. All of, like, it's all so ghastly.
It is, and I'm not sure if I'm allowed to talk on the racism part, but for me, because I do have friends. You're one of my friends, but in real life, also I have friends that are black, and I feel bad for them because this still goes on to this day where they are. So you're gonna have to help me with the word. They're not treated the same as other people, right?
Yeah.
Like one of our friends, he's a man, but he would be the one to be picked out of life first. Not my husband, who's white, but he would be. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think that's fair. So, and to put that cotton picking thing, to the bottom of my stomach, it is sickly. It's sickly. Why would you want to do that? Why would you want to say all these disgusting things? I mean, the person is a CUNT, clearly.
Correct.
And there's no morals, and and a vile person.
And I think this is why it's having such a big response, because it's affecting so many different communities and different people, and we've heard it today in this room from so many different voices. It's almost like we're all trying to process that there are people that are just sitting there sharing this shit and thinking it's funny and it's okay. And again, I will say again, I don't think it's about education. They know full fucking well.
Yeah.
It's not education, it's a choice.
They don't want to be educated. For the words to come out of the mouth, for you to actually do an act to get the picture of the picking, right? You were determined to do an act to, if you thought it was funny or whatever, you did that with intention. There was intention behind it, and there's intention with the things that were being said and posted. So there's no education there that's wanted. They should have, but they don't want it.
I just think we all need to stand together, everyone that agrees that all discrimination is bad and it shouldn't be happening. I think we need to create a war against discrimination, full stop. We need to stop going, well, this is worse than this and that's. We all just need to band together and say that it's wrong, full stop. And we need to also, and I'm sorry, this might sound like the snowflake person of me, but I don't care.
but we need to stop doing this. It's dark humor shit because it is boring.
Agreed. Agreed. Fully agree.
I think, I wanted to jump in and just say something really quickly because I'm with the kids and I've got to shoot back off now because they're waking up. But I think the app itself, TikTok, I think they shouldn't need to take accountability. But I think that as big as the app is and the money that they make on a daily, there should be the same way that we as streamers get keywords, and I'm trying to use the right words here, use keywords that can get us bananaed and whatever else. There should also be consequence for the ones that are using words like that. Yeah, and a 2-day ban is not enough.
Agreed.
There should be more than just a 2-day ban, because with all due respect, I've been on live some days and I don't know, like I'm singing what I'm singing Beyonce Ego, and I got banned for suggestive behaviour. But I was sitting down on my on my chair singing with a microphone in my hand. But because of the words that I was using, be it that it was somebody else's words, yeah, I understand. I had to take that on the chin.
Yeah.
There's people on here, I like Pinky just said, doing up the most about people's children.
Yeah.
About people's race, about people's sexuality, about people's choices. And then you've got the other end of the stick where you've got mothers on this app sitting there getting drunk and their kids are in the background being neglected. Them kind of things should also be triggered as a ban.
Yeah.
It's honestly, and as a streamer myself, I've been here for a long time. I've been streaming since before gifts were a thing. But I can see how toxic and how much manipulation there does happen on this app, and a lot of it does actually start in the chat, because they're the ones that do control these streams. And as much as the gifters don't want to admit that, the only reason that we press live every day, we know what it's for. This is people do it for gifts. People do it for money.
Yeah.
So they're creating this awful negative space, and TikTok has no consequence for the likes of the ones that are getting gifted highly. Are we seeing a picture? TikTok won't ban the ones that get good money because they get a percentage of what they earn.
Yeah, and we've had people in the boxes today saying that the the reason that they don't seem to care, and you know that they've been doing this stuff is, you know, like looking at Sussy today, like he was gleeful sitting in Miss Reds. It's attention, right? It's you get followers, your room fills up, and it just feels very much like a lot of this is about bad press is still good press. Do you know what I mean? Like we're still gonna try. It's awful. You're attacking
a whole community of people. Several different communities of people. Several different communities. But unfortunately, because they've got 1.2k people in the room and they're getting gifted and put on stupid notes. I'll give you a prime example. Eden Harvey. Big earner. How many controversial stories have you heard about her? Racial slurs that have come out.
Yeah.
And yet she's still one of the most followed people on the app.
Yep.
Earns the most money from collaborations in the UK. She got married and didn't spend a penny because everyone come through and was like, have this donation, have that donation. And she still did what she did. There's no such thing as cancel culture, and cancel culture shouldn't be a thing, but at the same time there should be what's the word?
A consequence.
That's the word. That's the word I was looking for. A consequence culture. Like, let's talk about that. Because the likes of us that are on here making good vibes and doing good things and filling rooms, I fill rooms. I'll say it with chest. I fill my room on a daily basis of 1,000 people off my good vibe. But do you know what really puts me down is when I turn around and say, look, I want to release a single, guys. Can we help together as a team? I can't get that. But you've got Delusive Angie sitting on a live. Her eyes gleam when someone orders rosé lemonade because she thinks it's got alcohol in it, and she's earning thousands of pounds every day.
Yeah,
it's really belittling as an artist. Someone that's on here using this platform as a vessel to make my dreams come true, to actually make something of my life. And you've got the likes of Delusive Angie. You've got the likes of, let's really talk about it, Sobriety Jack.
Oh, don't
even get me started on that one. Don't even get me started on that one. There's no consequence for the likes of people that make good money on this app, and TikTok won't ban the ones that make good money because they're getting change out of it.
I think the thing is it's unfortunate that
the people that are watching them and that are making excuses for them are people who believe the same as them.
Yeah, but TikTok are giving. Yeah, but my thing is TikTok are giving them a platform because the likes of me, like I said, if I dance a type of way, if I sing someone else's song, yeah, they'll ban me for saying the wrong words in a song. But if I post it on my content for me to get money from the creator fund, I get done for copyright. But it's very much my voice. I'm not Alicia Keys. If I'm singing something live, you can't say I'm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
do you know what it is?
Someone like them lot, they don't get no consequence. They don't get no bans because they fill rooms, make money, and TikTok are like, oh, I'm blind. Can't see it.
You know what it is? I think there's two not slightly different issues because it's all one issue.
Yeah.
But depending on what level you look at it on, Remi, you'll relate to this just in terms of a corporate structure.
I'm looking at it as a streamer. How
you look at it.
Yeah.
And I think, hi, Soph, by the way. My friend's dying.
Horrible, babe.
There is the money element to it with TikTok. Everybody knows this, especially when it comes to the Delulus and everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we need to remember, especially when it comes to things like race with disabilities, all this type of discrimination, and we briefly touched on it earlier, Remi, I know you guys were chatting, is social media is now used as platforms and places to push political narratives, agendas from above. It's a lot higher than just TikTok.
Yeah.
We've seen it continuously. We've seen it very prominently with Trump and with Elon and with everything else. This is the apps they're using. So they're intentionally allowing these narratives to flow, encouraging this whole old school divide and rule. But now they've got social media to do it. Before, in the 80s, back in our day, you used to have to go to a pub and have these conversations and spread it and then let it filter out that way if you were going to run an agenda. Now they can just put these things on social media and encourage these type of behaviours.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to all the isms, it's a lot bigger than just even TikTok making money. They're making money off these people, obviously, but it is, I think it's rolled out from a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
But then it is a bigger issue than just TikTok because it's a social media blanketed effect across the board, yeah? But TikTok is its own it's its own embassy. It's not part of data and Facebook and Insta and all that. It's its own thing. So if you're promoting that you've got 11-year-olds on the app, if you're promoting that there's children here and you're promoting that when you want to go live and do 18 plus content, that's all well and good. But let's hold the people accountable for putting things on the internet that are actually dangerous for our children. Hello?
Yeah.
The only way you can hold people accountable on this app, which never seems to happen because time and time again we get forgiveness and we get this and we're back in people's lives, is the people speaking. The people control this app.
Yeah, that's
everybody boycotted certain streamers, because TikTok will never do anything because it doesn't benefit them. And then what will eventually happen is these people may not die out per se, but they're going to end up in their own little groups, their own little circles, doing their own things.
Like Deidre.
That is the best we can possibly, that's the best outcome we can possibly get in the generation we live in, is to make sure we are not feeding it. We don't have to. I'm sure I heard Paige say this a while back to somebody. I don't know. I was in and out of lives at one point. You can't make me forgive someone. You can't make me sit with somebody. You can't make me come back into someone's box.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it. Stop having that expectation of me when I'm just going by what I believe, not by what everybody wants me to do or trying to make things nice or trying to do this, that, and the other. I get it. TikTok is a money-making business and everybody's going to network, and people do network, and there's certain people you might be around, you may not be around. But the people watching are the ones that need to start controlling what happens if we are this outraged or as outraged as we say we are about these situations.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
It's the ones that recharge in the chat. I'll be so real, I'll be blunt, but it's the ones that recharge in the chat and drop lions and drop this and drop that to these kinds of streamers to keep them coming back for more, because the second they withdraw and they stop sending gifts to these types of people throwing out this type of narrative, the second they stop, those people are going to stop coming to the internet because it won't benefit them to the extent that it is. So they'll stop, they'll get bored. They're still being fed, they're still making money, they're still making bread.
We are old enough.
That's actually a bar. I might put that on the track. That's actually a bar. Right. I'm really sorry, but I've got to go because I've got so much to do today. But big up everybody.
Bye. Thank you for coming up, Sophie. Welcome to the coven.
Thank you for the sub as well. Thank you so much, Linz. I appreciate that.
Big love, Sophie. Thanks for coming up, darling. Can we hear from Daz because he popped back up? What did you want to say, Daz, my darling?
Yeah, I wanted to go way, 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 way back into
That's all right.
where someone said, this is a learnt behaviour that cannot be unlearnt. Now, I agree with half of that, and I disagree with the other half. I agree it is a learnt behaviour, but I don't agree it can't be unlearnt. Because I'm a bit of an old fossil. When I grew up, we grew up with Alf Garnett, Roy Kinnear, Roy Chubby Brown, Jim Davidson, Love Thy Neighbour, all these things. And the racism was horrific. I lived in Luton until I was 12, and the racism was horrendous. Every corner shop was the pea shop. The Chinese takeaway wasn't a Chinese takeaway. We know what it used to be called. And it's taken a long time for me to unlearn these behaviours. But you can do it. And you can stop using these what I like to call dead terms, because they are dead terms now. And you change your vocabulary over time because you realise that what you're doing is affecting people, even unknowingly. But once you realise it, it's the realisation of what harm these things can do that triggers people to change their behaviour. And if these people don't give a monkeys and don't care what other people are feeling or going through or anything like that, then they will never change that behaviour. But they can. And to say it's a learnt behaviour that can't be unlearned, I think is wrong, because otherwise, why do people educate? Why do people bring awareness to it? Because if it can't be unlearned, then you're sunk.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think that's fair, man. I think that's really fair.
That's all I really wanted to come up and say. It was just a comment that went through the chat quite a while back, before I dropped out before.
Yeah.
And it just hit me that if it can't be unlearned, then humanity is sunk, because it will never change. Because people will continue to pass that learning down.
Yeah. Thank you, Daz. Thank you so much for saying that.
I'm going to drop down again, because I've said me a bit. I'll catch up with you later.
All right, darling. I'll pop in your live later.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye. Hello, Yaya. Hey, Debs.
What, baby?
What you want to see ya?
So I'm just going to be a petty bitch, because I am that girl. So a couple of things I would like to chip on. In regards to consequences, I am very much, you will never ever show me twice. Never, ever, ever. So for me, I won't engage, I won't forget, it's not the case of forgiving. It's not my place, well, is it my place to forgive? It's not my place to forgive because you've not done it directly to me, but you've definitely shown me who and what you are. And there's said creators on here, they've made a mistake and then have gone on to say and do awful things, and just because they're surrounded by so much support, it's kind of, again, like Kiki said, don't try and force me into giving somebody a second chance. I don't have to, I don't want to. And again, something that Courtney said, we all have our own triggers, we all have our own experiences, and for me it's the racism. And that goes on to my next topic of this whole snowflake culture. Oh, you see racism and everything. Mate, I've lived it. I'm living it. My children are living it. My family members are living it. When I see a racism, when I see, what is it, macro racism, mate, I see it. So I'm going to call it out. And it's this, stop being a snowflake and stop using your card. Mate, take my card. Shove it up wherever it is you want to and do what you will with it. I'm not here to, I don't know, I've just had enough. I have had enough. And
I think we all feel like that.
To put my boundaries in place. And another thing, Levi mentioned last night about he doesn't want to be educated. I know it's coming from a place of being defensive and him trying to stick up for his partner. The best thing he can do is stay silent, let her take the L, let her run with the punches, because that's what taking accountability is. Take accountability. Let me just accept what it is that's coming along. Unfortunately, the douchebag has been exposed for other things, With regards to Levi, it's if I don't want to be educated. And the thing that upsets me, again, I'm a mother of a son child, is if you don't want to be educated, you have children that you can't then educate. So then it just leaves an environment for other children and, you know, adults to face discrimination, and having such children that, you know, don't fit in and nobody understands them. And do you not want better for our children? Do you not want a better environment for everybody? It's wild to me. I don't understand. I don't know. I'm not angry. It's definitely something I'm very much used to. I'm just, no shit's given in regards to forgiving people.
Yeah.
Again, you will never ever show me twice, especially when it comes to things like being derogatory towards any community.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Yaya. The voice of reason.
Mate, I wish. I can't even find a song to like go with this. So sad.
Thank you, my love. Let's go to Debs. Hello, Debs. Welcome back.
Hello. So I did say sorry. I mistakenly tapped the request button instead of tapping the hearts for more. Love. So if you can keep tapping, that would be fantastic. I did say my piece before, but I will come back to the learnt behaviour stuff. People have to want to change. There are some people that do change because they realise that what they're saying is incorrect and is totally wrong and is offensive to other people. But they've got to want to change. And if they don't want to change, and if they go down the route of, well, this person says it, or our family's always said stuff like that, they're the people that don't want to change. They're the people where it is learnt behaviour and it's just like, well, this is life and this is how it is, and I'm not going to change for anybody. I don't care who I offend. And I think that's what we see a lot of on this platform, because people just, I quite often think from the various incidents of racism, transphobia, ableism, etc., that's happened on here over the last however many months it is that we've been on here, that people will say something and they're either too scared to change it because they're that stubborn that they want to stick by what they've said, or they're deeply sorry for it. But it's rare that we see the deeply sorry for it, because what they find then is the crowd of people who are racist, who are
transphobic, homophobic, whatever.
All of whatever those things are, they then find that group that follow them around and gift them for being that thing. Correct. And so actually it becomes financially not very good for them to change and Correct. Want to change. And I think that's why this app is a problem, because financially it rewards poor behaviour.
Yeah, I agree.
And just like Sophie Sings was just saying, you know, she wants to get a voice. She's beautiful. She's got a voice like an angel, and yet she can't promote stuff that she wants to. She can't promote a voice. It gets taken down for copyright and all of that kind of stuff. Same with any of the other people on here that want to raise awareness for DV or whatever. Nobody gets financially rewarded as much as people who are making these absolutely horrific comments.
Yeah, it's like bad behaviour does get rewarded on TikTok. It's mad. And like you say, whether you're someone like Paigey who's doing racism activism, and or whether you're bringing DV awareness to the app, you know, those will be the rooms that have hardly got, you know, they've got low numbers, they're not being supported through gifts, but you know, the bad behaviour, whether it's people who are drunk, who are being racist, being transphobic, being homophobic, those are the rooms that win in terms of TikTok, and that's quite a sad situation, really, I think.
It's a very sad situation, and this is why TikTok doesn't then ban their stuff or take down their posts, or whatever posts are then copied because it's recorded and posted to say, oh my God. None of that is then taken down because TikTok's being financially rewarded for it. And I think it's a double-edged sword, because I think actually if TikTok did do something about it, there would be more people that came onto the app to do the good stuff, to raise awareness about different things. Because if they saw it as a place where they could be rewarded more, they'd come over here.
Yeah. I agree with all of that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Debs. Hello, Zoe. Have you come to Clout Chase, or did you want to speak about the...
Well, both, actually.
So.
I mean...
I'm showing you my butt.
The app's the app, innit? And sadly, it's... Oh, am I echoing?
No, just carry on.
Sadly, it is a reflection of what goes on in society. The difference being that people are just being more open about with their views, and it's horrendous. Education, they have to want to be educated. What we've got to stop doing is telling people that are in these communities that they have to forgive. We need to stop telling people that are in these communities that it's not transphobic, it's not racist. If you're not part of that community, you shouldn't be having an opinion on whether it is or it isn't. You should be listening to the people around you. And if you are in that community and it doesn't affect you, you've got to respect the fact that it affects somebody else.
Yeah.
There's communities that are now going at each other because people are, well, it doesn't, that didn't offend me. I wasn't offended, so it can't be transphobic. I wasn't offended, so it can't be racist. No, just because you're not affected doesn't mean that somebody else isn't.
Correct.
And we've got to stop. We've got to stop the policing. We've got to stop telling people where they cannot go, who they can and can't sit with. Listen, if you want to forgive someone for this type of fuckery on the app, that's your prerogative, but it doesn't mean that everybody else around you has to do the same.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And I think what you tend to find is the people that do forgive are the people that aren't affected. Now, I'll be honest, I am so angry at the Sophie situation because I've got a disabled son, albeit he's not in a wheelchair, but he has his issues. And to think that grown adults can be out there doing this to kids angers me so much, because if Dylan gets worse, that could be my kid.
Yep.
Like, and people react out of emotion, and that's not to say I wasn't outraged at the racism. Absolutely, I was. But it's back to that thing of, I get angry at racism because I know the impacts that it has, but when it impacts you, that's when it hurts. And this is why the fuckery on this app is so bad, because there are so many people from so many different communities now being hurt because of the actions of these creators. And we just keep going round in circles. We need to realise that some people don't want to be educated, and sometimes we've got to, as hard as it is, I feel like sometimes we need to try to pull back and to step away from them, because I think the more lives we have that are going at them and having them around, it drags it out.
Yeah.
And education is important, but educate in your own space and educate where it's safe to do so.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these platforms, it isn't safe.
No.
It isn't safe to educate. You will get dragged, you will get shot down, you will become the villain in the story.
But also, I think not only are some of these platforms not safe, not only are they not safe, but some of them are deliberately using this content that affects different groups to have these debates for profiting reasons. Like, it's not that they even care about it.
100%.
It's that it's a way to earn money on the app, and that makes it even scarier that there are people who do want to learn, they do want to be educated, and they're going into these very unsafe spaces that are created to essentially use racism or use transphobia or use ableism as their content, but the people in some of these rooms, they don't actually care about the real topic. It's just, it gets them attention.
They don't. And there are so many beautiful educational spaces on this app. Like, so many.
There is.
But it gets overshadowed by the drama because...
And the toxicity.
And the toxicity, because sadly, we're programmed to want to watch it.
Yeah.
We're programmed and drawn to it. And that's all to do with media conditioning, etc., that goes on, because that's how they want us to be. They don't want us to be united. They want us to have these arguments, and they want us to keep doing this shit. And it's awful. It's heartbreaking, and it's scary to think of where the world's going to be in another 5-10 years.
Yeah.
So I've had my rant. Now I'll do my clout chasing, and then I'll leave you to it. If anyone wants to escape the fuckery on the app tonight, 9 o'clock on my page, we're going to have some fun, and we're going to do a big fat quiz of the year on all the TikTok shit that went down last year. So come and join us for the big fat quiz of TikTok 2024, and it's going to be fun.
Yeah, everyone give Zoe a follow. Miss Obsessed, give her a follow. She's got a quiz tonight, and it'll be a bit of fun. So yes, make sure.
Whilst it references drama, it will be light-hearted. There's nothing heavy. It's just going to be fun games and laughter, because I think the app needs a bit of that right now.
Yeah, I think so. Can I just ask if everyone in the room, sorry, I'm coming straight back to you, Keeks. Please could you send a heart me today? I haven't asked at all today. I've been on for a couple of hours now. Can everyone send a heart me? There are goodie bags. I know loads of you got stuff out there, goodie bags and the treasure box. If you're not following, tap on my name in the top left, please and thank you. And also, I love accepting African gifts like giraffes and lions. Thank you. Kiki, what did you want to say, my love?
That actually leads perfectly into what I was going to say.
Oh, really?
I was going to say, like, just to give you your flowers as well, because I think there's so many, like today, you could have done this, right? You could have let all the madness come in and had it like most of the other boxes that go around. It could turn into this whole back and forth with people arguing, but you've chose to hold a space that is calm and collected. And not only are these good for educational and things, because like we said, it's not always about educational. People that want to be educated will get educated. But more importantly, those people and those viewers that sit in the comments frustrated and angry and sad and upset by everything that goes on can actually just come and offload a little bit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? We're just literally holding space right now for people to say how they're feeling. And if you wanted to, you could have run with the 500, 600,000 numbers, got your coins in and made your money and been done with it and had another manic, crazy life. So well done for you for actually picking up on this stuff and doing it in a way that is productive and gives people a voice that don't normally have a voice or don't want to get in boxes. So yes, drop your heart me's, people, if you've got a brain. And if you have any more, as Hustle would say, one of my favourite Hustle lines, if you got it, drop it, but don't break your pocket.
Yes, I like that. I like that.
It's your line. Hustle always says it. It's got emojis and everything. If you've got it, drop it, but don't break your pocket.
Thank you, Paigey babes. Paige, did you? I mean, I know you're getting ready to go out for this weekend that you absolutely didn't invite me to. I thought we were friends, but clearly I got that wrong. Is there anything? Are you still getting ready, or did you? I mean, to be fair, you probably should have been on the train by now. But
I was on the train an hour ago. I'm just still listening. I just can't believe it. Did you see what I WhatsApped you? Has that already come out today? Then
let me have a little look. Hold on. Talk while I have a quick look at it. Hold on.
So the only fact, so yesterday, can I just say as well, I was like saying to Sophie and that, like, you can speak to me privately, I educate you. Now I'm like, no, piss off, because what's really annoyed me about this whole situation is that
what the hell?
Yeah, and that was from 2013, Remi.
Right, hold on. I'm going to show you this. Hold on.
Yeah, guys.
What the hell?
God, yeah, I am Goddess Karma. I
Right.
think I'm train it too.
Hold on, let me turn my camera on 1 second. So listen, we've spoke about Sophie Bailey, Sussy, and the things that they've said today, and we've covered a lot of things. Oh shit, I need to take this effect off. This is just another thing. Yeah, trigger warning. Can you just drop some trigger warnings, please? Because this is not nice. This is another thing. We've already heard Courtney say there's a child essay thing that she said on top of the racism, on top of the ableism, and now once I can figure out my flipping phone, I will show you a homophobic comment that she made, a screenshot. 1 sec. If I turn that off, oh, there we go, you get to see my ceiling fan. And then if I rotate the camera, why am I acting like I'm 80 years old and I've never used my phone before? Hold on, flip the camera. Oh, let me put myself in the big box. Sorry, bear with the old lady. Hold on. Yeah, you're not going to like this one, Lieutenant Mutant, or you, Debs, or anybody else who... Hold on, here we go. Here we go, I'll read it to you. Sophie Bailey, I'm not homophobic or out, but if you're GAY and we are arguing, I will point out that you are an F word that sounds like maggot.
So she is homophobic then?
Correct. There we go, Sophie Bailey. What a piece of shit.
When was this? Not that it matters, but when was this from?
2013 has been outed. She's
long. She's been on this for too long.
She was 14, I think, in these clips. 14, 15. So she's had said... This is the worst thing for me. I think this post, this is why I brought it up, is important, because when you're young, they're saying, you know, it's like you can be led into groups or bad groups of people, blah, 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 blah. However, her behaviour stayed the same. From this age to 10 years forward, her behaviour's actually stayed the same. So she's not only come out of that behaviour, learnt behaviour, she's actually gotten worse in her behaviour and continued to keep doing it with the knowledge that it's not right. So that, for me, is even scarier.
So this is not like a recent thing. Like when we this is not like all of a sudden, oh, I didn't know this was racist. Oh, I didn't know using the M word was bad for towards the disabled community. And now we have this, in her own words, towards the G community. She's learned nothing.
She knows exactly what she's doing and just going after it, each and every category that she can.
This is a horrible person. This is a horrible person with disgusting morals, no integrity, and it's just vile. I'm sorry.
And you know how they keep saying is TikTok. That's even more reason to speak up. Listen, if your friends are moving mad and crazy and doing all this stuff in your real life and you don't want to run around your town city telling everybody, that's your choice. If your people are doing this stuff on this app, you have a responsibility, if you are any type of person, to tell people, because otherwise people are sat there gifting these people. I said earlier, I'm not running around giving roses and lions to the EDL. I want to know who I'm around and I want to know who I'm gifting or who I'm supporting. So if you're letting these people go on like this and you know this is what they're like, and especially if it's someone who, I'm just going to use race as an example on this one, who is being outright racist, and then they have loads of people of colour sat in their boxes, You need to be telling them. And then it's their choice whether they choose to stay or not. But at least let people know who they're supporting and who they're giving money to.
Yep. Awful, man. Awful. I don't know what to say anymore, man. The ableism is horrific, Nikki. But so is the racism, and so is the transphobia, and so is the homophobia. Like, it's just, I don't understand why this is the default position that people move to. I've never understood it. Yeah, you can post that, Gossip Girl.
Why you would want to be so vile?
Yeah,
that's what I don't understand. Why would you? Because just, you know, saying one thing that's vile surely wouldn't make your insides feel horrible. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to say all of those different horrible things, and it be a long-term saying of all these different things, you know, why would you? I don't understand it. Maybe I will never understand it, but I'm lost for words. I'm lost for words quite all the time, but especially now. I'm lost for words.
It is awful. Like, it's...
Paige said it in the comments, though. She said she's already said to her that she's got pretty white girl privilege, and that's what it is. She's a pretty white girl that's able, and she just, to her, this is just funny because none of this affects her.
Yeah.
And what does that even mean? Why would you put pretty in front of that?
No, it was me. So, Kate, when I sent to her yesterday, do you know what Sophie Bailey reminds me of? You know those, what was deemed as pretty when we was all growing up here, the white girls, blonde hair, blue eyes, like in the school type thing, that thought just because they looked like that, with that privilege, they were better than everyone else, that used to tell me I was ugly, or when I come pull my hair, or be like, oh, your skin looks like this. She reminds me of those type of girls. Do you know what I mean? Like, she thinks she has this pretty privilege where, because she has gotten to certain places, and it is because of her looks and how she acts and stuff like that on social media, it is because of that, because she's an airhead. I'll be so real and blunt. She goes on her looks and has gotten places because of her looks and stuff, and her pretty privilege and her white privilege. And then she went mental on a box with Levi and that, going, I grew up in the ghetto, I've struggled, and rah rah. I was like, you don't even know what it means. Like, you've gotten yourself out of the ghetto from your tunting in your face, babe. Like, that's really the realities of it. Like, we listen and we don't judge, but now you're racist, homophobic, ableist. I'm gonna judge. Like, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna heavily judge. You know what I mean? You've gotten yourself off the back of hurting other people. Being a mean girl, it just means that you've stomped on people to get to where you are and get to your popularity. That's all it means.
I agree, Paigey.
I'm genuinely just out of words, man. Like, I'm sat here and I'm just fucking done. I'm just done, man.
It's raining.
It's so draining. So draining, man.
We've got Paige out of breath, me with no voice. We're struggling.
Me mash up over here.
This is done. Yeah, what is done?
Can I just say as well, we should have really clocked on earlier all of this, yeah? From when she's M.R's ex, like the biggest culture vulture and appropriator, like, we should have really clocked there was some weird
I
connotations
never liked
going on.
that girl's vibe. Anytime I kept sort of in the room, I left the room. I did not. I came into the. I've been in a room with her maybe 2 times, and one of those was boxing. Apart from that, anytime I saw anybody else in a room with her, I used to leave because I just never liked something about her.
Thank you, audio jury.
I didn't know what it was. My spirit just did not take to that girl.
See, I need to stop being so nice to women on here, because when they're nice to me, I just do this weird thing where I'm blindly nice straight away. Men, I'm like, ew, get away. But like women, I'm like, okay, do you want to be nice? Like, she'd always like come around me. She was following me. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, first and all of the, thank you, Camdy Man, my love. She would follow me first. And I did obviously get offers, but I more track her like, you guys are my people on this app. She's an associate. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't mind being in certain places. I think I had one phone call with her ever. Like, it was me, her, Levi, and Top Girl, and Alicia. And that was when, this is what I mean, the hypocrisy. That was when the boxing guy said something racist or something. But now we're realising that they only wanted to get draw me and bait me into it because they wanted to bring out his racism because they'd fallen out with him, not because they cared that he's racist.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even trying to bait me into that kind of thing and draw me into these combos. And she has just literally used, and like now the thing is, everyone else I'd be like, oh, maybe she used and such like this. But Levi, the way he's talking and defending her so blindly. It's that aggression in his voice that's bothering me. It's his attitude, it's his tone. It's giving you believe and you heavily like are on the same vibe. Do you know what I mean? Like, you're not just being blindly defensive to your girlfriend. You may be loving, you may be a simp, and then you'll open your eyes later when she dumps you or something. I feel like he has similar vibes. Hence how he was having sneaky calls with Angie. And even today, the fact that when he's fallen out of everyone, he's gone and ran and sat straight in Angie's box, debating the times, and Corey Wilde's in there, of all people, trying to tell Angie that when she's been racist, and Levi's there defending her. Like, do you think that's a good thing to do publicly when your missus has just been outed for every ism possible? Do you know what I mean? Like,
the definition of mix-up, and they have been since jump. Everybody knows, like, I'm not Top Girl's biggest fan or anything, just because I still remember the day she was in Angie's, back in Angie's, and I still have that issue, because I'm like, you went against your own. But saying that, when I saw how Top Girl, you could see that girl was hurt. And when she said, I sent you photos of my child, my heart broke for her. I can't lie. I was like I really, really felt for that girl. And like 100%. I said, I'm her biggest backer or support or anything. But you can see that girl's got a good heart, even though she might have a mouth on her.
Do you know what it is? She's got a massive heart.
You could see that hurt her. Like, when you send someone pictures of your kids, regardless of what people think about that and whether we should be doing that, take that out. She took it for what it was, as a friendship, and she's calling you a brother, which again is mad to me. But that aside, she felt that, and you've just turned around and you're going on like that with her.
100%. What's more scary is that she actually sent the majority of the pictures to Sophie, but where they've teamed up now, Levi's like popped it in there as well. Like, yeah, well, you shouldn't have sent pictures of your kids then. And it's like, if I want to send pictures to Kiki of Cairo because you're like a woman that I've spoken to and I should like trust, you know what I mean? We shouldn't have to at the same time be wary, but like, Top Girl actually trusted Sophie. So when he's whinging, like, why does no one listen to Sophie, wherever, there were people like Top Girl, like people around her that did actually trust her. That's why they allowed them into their lives. And then this is how they've trapped them all.
And this is the thing, right? It's a social networking app. So you network, and when you network, you build relationships, you build trust. It's not...
Facts.
It's natural for people to develop relationships on this app. It is completely
Unfortunately, there's a lot of shady, bad people out there building relationships for their own benefits and their own causes, and that's where we just have to be highly careful of who we are around, why people are coming to us, why people want to sit with us.
But what we can't do and what we shouldn't do is, when somebody has had that trust broken, start them blaming the victim. Well, you shouldn't have done it. No. The trust.
Seriously, my heart really broke for Top Girl. I was like, oh my God, that actually hit me. And
mine did. It was horrible to hear her saying, like, I've sent you pictures of my daughter. It was all, as a mum, I could only imagine how she's feeling right now. Because
so it's just, do you know what makes it worse as well? She's saying, Top Girl was saying, like, it's her bloody black mixed race daughter as well. Like, you're sitting there doing up slavery jokes, and she's seen, like, Top Girl was saying to me on the phone, and like, she was saying, like, she's spoken to Sophie off out, like, not even about race and stuff, like, just about what Mia, her little girl's gone through in terms of certain situations, you know what I mean, with racism or being around certain things in school. Imagine how you feel sitting there telling all your flipping story, your racism story about you and your child to someone you think's a friend, but is a heavy racist, and joking about disabled kids and racism and everything else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's crazy.
And you know what? I'm sure I heard someone say that she's used the P word before as well. Now, this is a child that is a mix of two origins.
Yeah.
Both of those that you are coming for.
Yeah, Sassia said she said the P word loads of times, but that was in combo when they'd had a little snow hyena session.
It's not hard to believe, is it, really?
No, a million. I believed it before even this stuff come out. I'm not going to lie to you, Kiki. Like, the first thing that came out, I believed it before there was even evidence. Like you said, you know, you get vibes from someone, but at the same time, we're not judge and jury to necessarily be like, I can't be like, tell me all your darkest secrets now and I know you're racist. Do you know what I mean? Like, you just have to wait for people to show themselves, like you always said. And she's played a blinder tonight, Matthew. I'm going to be an absolute dirty, homophobic, racist, ableist bastard. Like, I'm sorry, that's the vibe she's giving me. It's insane to me. I feel like I haven't had that bloody blood money as well to the charity. It's really infuriated me.
Yeah, what happened? Did they ever show evidence of giving that money?
Yeah, they've got all the evidence. They sent 200 to me. I've got the proof that they did that.
Okay, good.
They sent 500 to another charity. They have got the proof as well that they sent that, to be fair. I think 200 went somewhere else. I'm sure there was proof of that, but I'm not sure if there's any other proof. But they did definitely send me the 200, like for the Amazon orders. They did. To send them all out, because it doubled my order, basically. In what we had, so I could give it an extra double. And they did do to like a woman's charity, I believe, as well. But I'm annoyed because I just feel like it's blood money.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Dirty money, but I don't care. Like, it went to the people, do you know what I mean? That needed it. But yeah, I just think even doing that, it's like what made it sick is that you, fundraised and got all that money, but that was off the back of trying to highlight a racist because you didn't like them because of the Tommy thing, or because you wanted to stream a fucking boxing match.
Yep.
So they were sending money to like racism charities and diversity charities and all this stuff, whilst being like absolutely disgusting to every community possible, off the back of trying to out a racist. The hypocrisy and irony is terrifying.
It's mad, isn't it? It's maddening. That's what we've been talking about as well earlier. Like, it's maddening when you really deep all of this, that this stuff has been exposed, but yet you're using your platform to sit there and call out other, racism and to that whole Tommy thing, the fight thing, but yet you're secretly and privately doing exactly the same thing. It's so dangerous, man. Like, you just can't trust anyone on here. It's just crazy. Thank you. Oh, thank you. So FYP Clip says, I've just tagged you in an upload of Sophie's reaction to the Facebook status. Let me have a quick look then. Let's have a quick look, see.
Which is the Facebook status?
You know the one I showed about the...
Yeah, okay.
Right, I've got it. Listen to what she says.
Maybe Harley, that's a green screen. You're like with a hand, because when you go on the big screen at the top, it's show it all.
Hang on, I'll just flip it. Thank you, FYP Clips 007.
That's in 20.
So that's a Facebook post from when I was a child. A literal child.
I'm just going to pause it there. So this is the same screenshot that I shared with you all a little while ago, where she basically says, if you are, she says, I'm not homophobic, but if you are G and we are in an argument, I will point out that you are a F word that sounds like maggot. So this is what she's talking about in this clip. And she's starting by saying, I did this Facebook post when I was a child.
But it's still there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
2013, a child.
2013, I was a
one of the
child.
things when they're kids.
How old was I in 2013? 13. I was 14, 15 years old.
Come on, that's reaching now.
I'm 26
that's
now.
Embarrassing.
Nearly 27.
That's embarrassing.
So again, you've got Olivia Pope sitting there saying it's embarrassing that they've pulled this out. Not embarrassing what she said, but it's embarrassing, right? I'm deliberately moving the camera because we're on TikTok. Can everyone just tell Levi to change his username to Olivia Pope at this point? Because the way he goes for Sophie and protects her, and I'll just play the clip.
It's not embarrassing, really, because it's still happened. Do you know what I mean?
Where's recent ones then from 11 years onwards? Anything? There's not. Come on.
So he wants recent ones, but this level of homophobia is okay because she was a child. But if it's recent, then we can deal with it. But Jesus Christ!
Ouch! You dropped us.
Sorry.
Did is the recent ones not what we're all in a live about?
Exactly.
I'm going crazy. Or like, listen, Debs, I'm going through menopause because I forget stuff really quick. Like,
sorry,
things will happen and I ain't got a clue. But I swear this is why we are all here, because this happened recently.
Correct.
How recent does he want? And what happened after 11? And this is just the stuff we know. There is going to be a million other messages that we haven't even seen yet.
Correct. And Anna makes a good point. Why would that even come out of a 13-year-old's mouth anyway? Madness.
That's reaching. Oh, it's not pattern of behaviour, fucking hell.
Yes, it is.
That's yeah. Sorry. That's. I'm not having that. That's digging. Jesus.
There we go.
It's a pattern of behaviour that shows that it's ingrained in them.
Yeah.
At 14, 15, you know right from wrong. At 14, 15, you're criminally responsible. So at 14, 15, you know what you should and should not be saying.
Well, certainly at 26 years old, you should know that taking pictures of other people's disabled children in wheelchairs is bad. You should know that using cotton picking pictures is offensive to black people. You should know that making jokes about George Floyd is offence, like calling your own child the M word because he is possibly autistic. Like, even if we talk about, okay, she was only 13, I mean, it's still fucked up and wrong, but let's talk about you now as a big adult.
Mm-hmm.
Still doing this fuckery.
At this point, do you not feel sorry for him? Like, I don't know if you are that dumb or you think you are that smart that you can worm your way out of things. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Sorry.
Like, personally, for me, like-minded people attract like-minded people.
Yeah.
So the reason he's reacting the way he's acting is because he's just as bad as she is, and more than likely saying the same shit behind closed doors.
Well, 100%. Because you just think about it. Like, if somebody was in my house, right, sat on my sofa and started saying homophobic things or transphobic things or ableist things, I'm not going to sit here having a conversation with them in any sort of nice capacity.
No.
Right? So by default, they are one of the same because they are sat there together, like having these conversations and busting these jokes with one another, and it's okay. It's easy breezy. It's all right to be racist and make jokes. It's okay to mock people with disabilities. Bloody hell, Paigey. So yeah, by default, Zoe, I would say he is 100% on board and has exactly the same views as her, because A, he didn't call it out, and B, he's out here fucking Olivia Pope in the situation, trying to make it better.
People, if you're going to be ride or die for somebody, be ride or die for the right people.
Exactly.
Exactly. Teach your sons not to get to this phase with any woman, and your daughters not to get to this phase with any man, because it's a dangerous damn place. Because when they move on, and I'm going to put money on the fact they will move on at some point, you are going to be left there dealing with this shit while they are out there doing it to someone else. Like, you got to feel sorry for the boy at this rate. Like, I think I'm starting to feel sorry for him. I really am. I don't understand this level of stupidity. Like, there's a level of madness and there's a level of stupidity that is just beyond. Like, nobody can say nothing because he is that deep in this. Like, Levi.
Yeah, I think the way he's handled it is all wrong. I said yesterday, like, he's been acting wild.
Wild is an understatement.
I said it to him as well, and I like. You're running around saying to everyone, right, you've said something bad, I'm outing you, I'm going to do this about you. It's crazy behaviour from Levi right now.
Sorry, Paigey, it's glitching, man. Like, it said that you're in the box, but you're not. I don't know what it's doing. It's being weird.
Paigey, we don't want you, okay?
He's been here all day, Alicia. Where have you been?
Remi, I've been out in the real world. I got my nails done, I got a pedicure, I went shopping, I feel good.
Whatever.
Stop lying.
Whatever.
Kiki, I'm trying to be a normal functioning member of society.
Alicia, you sent me a line yesterday. You're a liar.
I'm ride or die for Paigey.
Yes, you did. Now I've got to get a massage going because she sent me a line and it cricked my neck and I can't move. So I'm very stressed out.
Kentino's mum, I would disagree with that, darling. Kentino's mum says other people do what Levi does and nobody says anything. We have to hold all accountable. I mean, I like to think I try my best to call out. I think
she's talking about someone specific, Miss Remi.
Oh, okay. I'll shut up.
It's difficult, you know, like I was saying in Miss Red's comments today, name me one person that calls out their friend on this app and is still friends with them, because people don't do that. It's just not the way humans go. Like, we speak to our friends in private. We've got a friend, haven't we, that likes to say crazy things that I speak to her in private. I'm not going to come and drag her across an app because she's my friend and I know her away from this app.
Oh, crazy little tease.
Listen, on that, I'll be honest, I'll be real. I will call people out off the app and on the app. Like, I'm that's just who I am. Like, it doesn't mean, and I said this the other day, like, I can like you as a person, but if you say some fucked up shit, I will call it out.
Yeah, like I've publicly said, you know, I don't agree with that. However, I didn't say it, so leave me the hell alone. Kenzino's mum's in the box. The boxes are really glitchy.
I can't even see
I need to come back out, by the way, because all I can see is half of Remi's moon.
Oh, she's in.
And
It's
no
all right,
one
she's
else.
I ditched my childhood friend, my longest standing friend, and it was around the time of the Black Lives Matter movement with George Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
Literally, and it wasn't even about her, it was her husband who started putting up posts left, right and centre. Me and him got into it and she backed him and would not back down. But I was like, no, like, even though this wasn't even you directly, the way you are riding for this man on the disgusting things you're saying,
love you, Newton.
It's going to be in my circle.
Yeah, I get that.
Facts.
And that was my longest standing friend. Me and her never had any issues. That's not major issues anyway, aside from that.
Can I just say, hello everybody, first of all. Remi, I was really just thinking about my own situation. I weren't even thinking about everyone, but it is like, yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just think that on this app, what I've noticed since taking a long break and then coming back, because when I was away, I was really away. I weren't on any burners. I weren't even, like, do you know what I mean? I did not open the app, and I've taken screenshots so you can see I've been off, no screen time. But what I noticed since I come back is, there's different groups in it on this app, and if you are not part of a certain group, will depend on how you get treated. So with all of this Levi Cam2 business, like I've never been a part of that, but I noticed that as soon as he started doing his Cam2, there was like a certain group that he would always have on his stage. I think that was probably just before I started leaving the app or whatever not. And then like I've come back now and it's all of this kind of thing. But I just think if we're going to hold one person accountable or one group accountable, we have to hold everybody accountable. I crashed out on this app the other day, right? And obviously I never went into detail why, but there was a lot of people who I thought were my friends that I've been sent videos of them sitting on somebody else's stage talking about me. Now, because I haven't shared my story, it's like on this app, unless you know everyone's business, like, oh, she's going through something, that's why she done this, or she's been through that, that's why she done that. Unless you talk your business, people have no sympathy for you. So yeah, I just want to say we need to start holding everyone to the same account. And if you see me talking about someone I know in real life on this app, know that they started on me first. Let's not make the assumption that I'm running around on this app just talking about people because I'm a horrible person, because I'm not like that in real life. You lot on this app need to stop supporting strangers when you've got somebody that knows somebody from real life that says, hold on, I know this about that person, because we've seen it happen just the other day. I don't even know who the person was, but there was someone that was sitting with everyone, and then I think he made a live.
You mean Highlander?
Was it Highlander? I don't even know, Remi, because again, I weren't here. This is when I just got back to the app and I'm trying to catch up on things, but it was the one that says that it was in relation to some little girl being on a live. And,
Highlander.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was Highlander.
Yeah, so I think that we've all just got to remember that this is the Matrix, this is the meta, this isn't the real world. So even though we might jump into boxes every day with people and talk with people off the phone and whatever, until that friendship is solid, let's stop running around defending strangers and talking about people like you know anything. Because number one, please, if anyone has anything to say about me, just come and approach me. I am approachable.
Well,
and
listen, Kentino's mum, just respectfully, I feel like you're kind of derailing the conversation a little bit.
I know I am.
But listen, hear me out, because obviously, you know, you've got a personal situation or whatever, but I would like to address the point of you know, not calling people out and keeping the same energy for everyone. Yeah. Certainly in this room, I do that. I can't speak for the rest of the app. I just had a conversation with Alicia about a mutual friend of all of ours. I am not someone who will ever sit here and say I agree with transphobia. And if somebody is in not even a friend circle, because I don't even think it goes that deep, but if there are people that I like on this app who say or do fucked up things, my mouth will never remain silent. So that's why I responded to what you wrote in the comment, because I like to believe I hold people accountable, and whether that means that person don't want to be my friend or don't want to talk to me anymore, that's also fine. So but
no, I agree with that 100.
Yeah, so but I get, you know, you've got your personal whatever's going on with whoever. That's fine, but you know, the conversation today has very much just been around Sophie and Levi and Sussy and the behaviour that they've done. What's this? Are you referring to the amount of man hating on this app? I don't know what you're talking about, but no.
With that situation there, though, Remi, the Levi and Sophie stuff, I did see a little bit of it, and obviously, for me now, I'm not surprised when we find out that these people are racist, you get it? Which is why I've been saying this from the start when we were having these debates. When I say I find it difficult to trust Caucasian people, this is the reason why. You get what I'm saying? Jesus. Because we've been down this road before. They do it to us at work. We're at work, kiki and laughing with people, but they're making a plan to get that black person out. You get it? Like, so with this situation, as much as I'm disgusted with it and whatever, I'm just like, just another one in it. I'm just going to keep one eye open when I'm sleeping and just, that's it. But yeah, sorry for derailing the conversation. Say what I've got to say, and I'm going to drop down because I am tired.
Okay, that's fine, Kentino's mum. I mean, I would, listen, I think we should keep one eye on everyone. I don't personally, you know, TikTok is a madness, and I've always said I trust no one on this app. I don't agree with what Kenzino's mum just said, but that's her opinion. You know, I just,
I'm with you. I think you have to treat people on an individual basis. We can't be, otherwise we end up just as bad. I understand what she's saying. I know there's a lot of people, especially certain generation, and especially in the areas that I live in, that would hold the same views and think certain spaces have to be for certain people if you're going to solve a problem. Me personally, plus I'm mixed race. Me personally, it's very much an individual thing for me. I'm not like I've probably got 5 closest friends. That's my circle. I keep it tight. 2 of those are white women, and they're ride or die. And I think we do have. I mean, Alicia's in the box. She's always
and Zoe.
What she says, Zoe.
And Debs.
Yep, there's people that we do know are there, and they don't have to speak up. They don't have to back it and take shit and the other, you know. But there's always going to be, and I said this earlier, there's always going to be certain people that will put themselves in certain spaces and around certain people because they have ulterior agendas, which is why we have to assess everybody as an individual.
Do you know the thing is, oh, sorry, Kiki, I thought you were done, sorry.
Talking over ethnic people.
I'm so sorry. I do it all the time. I can't help it.
And I have no voice. Go on, sorry.
I just wanted to say, like, in regards to what was actually posted, so obviously there's not levels to racism. If you're racist, like, it is what it is. But do you know, like, the whole cotton picking thing just is so deep.
Yeah.
And it was just like, you know, the second picture that I saw, because I'd seen the gif of the cotton plant, and obviously I knew what it was referring to. But to see like a picture of black people that were enslaved in a field used as like some sort of banter was wild to me, because it's proper deep rooted, you know. It's just, I don't know how to say what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean.
It went beyond it went beyond banter.
It's inhumane. The way they're moving is inhumane. That's what it is. Even from that picture that hits even deeper to the picture of just taking a photo of someone's child that is an innocent child in a damn supermarket. Like, you're inhumane. You have no humanity about it.
Correct.
Even just from watching, you know, things like Roots or 12 Years a Slave, things like that gives you a small picture of what people went through. And I don't know, I just felt like it ran really deep. And obviously I'm speaking from my perspective as a white woman. I completely get why everyone's outraged. And you can't just be like, oh, you know, it's dark humour, it's just a laugh. Yeah, but it's not funny though, is it?
No.
Right.
Dark humour is the latest TikTok line. We have that, I'll sit with whoever I want. We have it's just TikTok. And dark humour is the latest in the lines of shutdown lines, as I call them. Ways to just shut people down and be like, no, you're being stupid, get over it.
And yet this is why comedians that used to have that version of humour are not on television anymore. So it's not humour. It's not considered humour. It isn't humour. And why all of a sudden on TikTok people seem to think it is humour is, well, again, it's just showing who they really are, isn't it?
And this is the thing, society shifts and society changes all the time. So what was once acceptable is now no longer acceptable. And it is up to us as individuals to keep up with that education. It's not up to communities to educate us. It's up to us to educate ourselves. And I'm sorry, but the whole I didn't know doesn't fly. Like,
no, because you've got to know something to know about
send it in the first place.
Cotton picking. Do you know what I mean? It's not, it's not like you're not just putting the N word there, or, you know, doing something like that. You're putting something where you must have some level of
understanding.
Understanding of it.
And I'm guessing she's been to school, right?
But I said one of the first things I said was, yes, we keep using this word educated. Is they educated? They don't want to be educated.
No,
they
don't.
They have the education. They can't. Nobody can say you haven't got the education. You have it. Everybody has that education. You do not want to align with that or use that. You're on your own little thing. You have your values. You have your core values and your core beliefs, and that ties into what is coming out of you. So nobody needs to be even trying to educate people like that. If you want to be educated, you would have got educated, but you really don't care. Now, as we've seen, this has been like, what, 14 years?
Yeah.
And this is when it turns into ignorance.
Yep.
And the picture with the disabled child.
At this point, I think it's a fucking
not even
choice.
ignorance, because ignorance implies you don't know.
Right.
It's intent. It's intentional.
Yes.
So even ignorance doesn't cut it with these situations.
I agree.
And the picture of that little boy in the wheelchair.
Awful.
If I knew what area she was, I'd be contacting all the local Tesco's in that area and saying, here's a picture. Do you know this person? Do they come in often? Will you make the parent aware?
But imagine, Kiki, if there was on this app, because there were so many people in all these lives yesterday, imagine you're on there, God forbid, and you see someone's got a picture of your child saying that what did she say? They stink like shit and something else, and a picture of the back of your child.
Yep.
You're doing time for that.
But even yesterday, we saw the damage of them two when Kieran was in the box and had that realization that he'd had a private conversation with Levi, who then went and told Pearl something that Kieran had said, and he got very, very upset, to the point he said he wanted to leave the app. You know, we've had people sitting in these boxes today saying that they were crying for him because it was so bad, you know, referring to him as the M word or referring to her own child as the M word. Like, this isn't a truly abhorrent human being.
His situation was in line with the thing I said about Top Girl. These people genuinely believed that there was a true friendship and true care and a real respect between two people. And then they've gone and they've just dashed that. Like, I'm big on loyalty. For me, loyalty is key. Like, I can be a mouthy little bitch at times, but I'm very big on loyalty. Like, you can abuse me racially and we'll deal with that. You can abuse me in 100 ways. But when someone breaks my loyalty, that is when it's really going to cut deep, because I'm not just accepting anybody in. And if I care for you, I really do care for you. So, and I think that's what it was with him as well, was just seeing somebody that genuinely thought he had this true friendship with somebody, and then you find out your friend is treating you like that.
Yeah.
No.
It's bad. Yeah, we showed it, Jemmy. Jemmy Jusby says even more has come out. We've showed some of it already, and there will be more.
Good. Keep it coming out.
There will be more, because that's clearly the type of people they are, and these are the conversations they're having behind the scenes, and this is what happens when a group of friends fall out. You're all fucked, all of you, including Sussy, kicking black dolls and Islamophobia. You're all as bad as each other. None of them have clean hands in this.
I'm not one that believes in like fueling fires and arguments, especially amongst friends, because I don't think that's right. And there's always people that are going to be willing to try and split people up or destroy friendships. I'm about like building and bringing people together. That's just always where I've been at. But when it comes to things like this, I'm like, call everyone that was in that group chat. Your name needs to be out there, and not so everybody can even go on the attack, but just so we know who you are and who we're dealing with.
Right.
That's
I've got the response to so Levi sent me a screenshot yesterday after the picture was put up of the child in the wheelchair. After that was shown, Levi sent me the response to it from the other person in the group. One of the, I don't know how many people are in there, I'm not sure. Because I was just interested to see the reaction to this from people. Do you know what I mean? Because for me, that's wild. That's someone's kid. I'm a mother. But I haven't green screened. It's very busy today.
What did he say? Or did you want me to put you in a big box?
Oh, hang on.
Bloody showers then, Alicia. That was a bit of a disheartening downline.
You know what I mean?
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm working.
Oh, bloody hell, don't shout at
Do you want me to put it up?
Yes, please.
I just want to know people's
It's like
viewpoint on this.
To post. This is the type of stuff we should actually be posting.
Hold on.
Paigey, don't chat shit to me in the comments.
I'll go mental.
Can you read it out, babe? I'm short-sighted.
So Sophie's put, shall I push it out? He smells like he's himself. And then someone's responded and said, F me, Sophie, haha, with like a, I don't know how to describe that
Bradley
emoji.
John Doyle?
It's just one of his mods. I'm not trying to like put hatred on, but I just wondered what people thought of this response.
I mean, it's not exactly calling the behaviour out, is it?
Well, no, it's not.
I think he thinks it's funny.
I mean, yeah. Wait, is that a laughing face or a sweating head?
It's like a sweating
head. Yeah, it's a very.
That's how I took it, Leela. It was like, I don't really know what to say, but I don't want to. I'm not going to call her out because she's my friend or whatever.
I think it's their subtle way of being like, that's a bit out of order.
Yeah,
I think I would have left the group.
I would have just left. I would have probably put this face. Wait, I would have put this face. Like if I'm talking about, if I felt, that awkward friendship uncomfortable, I would have put this 3 times, my staple, and then would have said Paige to exit the group. That's what I would have done personally.
Yeah,
and
that's.
Actually, I would have called them directly. I would have come out of that group and messaged them or called them directly to be like, what the fuck?
Is he a mod? He sounds like, I feel like, but I don't want to say too much, but I feel like a lot of people around Sophie and Levi, by the way, are very vulnerable. This is what really annoys me as well. Like within some sort of state, like wanting friendships or, do you know what I mean? Wanting not having a group or wanting to be in a group in that kind of sense. I feel like they were very smart, probably not like going around certain people that probably did feel awkward and not strong-minded people like ourselves that would call it out there and then, friend or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like they were quite strategic in placing certain people around them, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what, Debs especially, you know what I mean on this. You know, there's this whole like social construct thing as well, isn't there? Where, especially when you're in a group, and remember that's probably just one of many already messages where the culture and the baseline has basically been set. So even a response like that would be quite a big tool for that person going against the grain of that group and that culture. So I wouldn't jump on it personally.
Do you know my thing is
Absolutely. But also I was going to ask because the date on it was October, so I thought that was a response to the stuff that was going on currently, but the date in the middle of that was October. So what was that all about? Really? In the middle of the last post that Alicia's put up. Has he sent you that as a kind of like, well, it's
I think he was like, well, look at this is the response, and I'm not trying to like heavily involve myself in this because it's a lot, do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
I think Sussy didn't want his mod outed as being in a group where stuff like that is put. But I wanted to see the responses, because if there's people that would be there and they would be laughing and giving that same energy, I would just want to have them blocked.
Yeah.
I think H just hit the nail on the head there. She said trying to throw others under the bus to excuse her. Yeah, it's Olivia Pope again.
Oh my God, it actually is. They're putting up escape plans.
Yeah.
And
it
like
really
when I
creeped me out.
spoke
Go on.
When I spoke to Levi yesterday on messages, and I just said to him, like, it's fucked up, and your response is wild. Do you know what I mean? Like the way because you can stay with your girlfriend, whatever, without backing what she said. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I don't know, like running around saying, right, I'm outing you, I'm outing you, I'm outing you. Like, he's got nothing on me that he can put out. I said to him, out me. I don't show every single message we've ever had between each other. I don't care. There's nothing there, but it's just his response is just really disappointing, I think.
It's all very
disappointing. Can Camdy Man come in, Remi, please? He's saying that people have known about these messages since October.
But isn't that just the assessment of what people are basically saying is Sussy's known about this, right, for time and hasn't said anything and has sat in that group and is now out being a hero.
No, Sussy weren't in the group. He got sent this.
Oh, okay.
Yesterday.
Yeah, he got sent the group. Is that who you mean, Camdy Man, Sussiest, or do you mean other people on the app? Tell me now.
I mean, but he's got his own stuff going on anyway with the comments that he's in. So
who?
Sussy.
Oh yeah.
So,
Sussy's always got something going on.
Regardless, like even if his intention, which we kind of know, I would presume that it is just a get back. Listen, you're doing your own thing anyway, so you're on the same level for me.
Zoe, can you rise Camdy Man? Because I can't. Can we have absolutely no fuckery today? Because I'm really not in the mood, Camdy Man. So just come with something receiptful, please. I'm not into creating unnecessary shit.
Why does Camdy Man do fuckery?
No, I'm just mentally preparing the room and myself.
I've never seen Camdy Man in a box.
I can't see.
Camdy Man's always in boxes. He loves it.
I know, but I've just seen him when he comes through and shows me love. I've never actually seen him in boxes properly.
Camdy Man, it's really glitchy, darling, and I can't even see. Is he in? I'm sorry. Go on.
Don't come in here with fuckeries, Camdy Man. Right?
There is none. What I meant by my comment was, if you look at the date on that screenshot, it's the 1st of October 2024. So people have sat in that group chat since October 2024 condoning that behaviour, but now friendship circles have broke down, everyone's fell out of friends, whatever. Now they're not okay with it, but they've been okay with it since October.
Yeah, I get that. That's
true. My comment. That's all.
That's cool. We kind of said that earlier. Like a lot of us kind of brought that up earlier as well. I know you weren't in the room, Candyman, so you wouldn't have known. But it's this position of you're okay to sit amongst racist jokes and ableist jokes and kiki and ha ha until you all fall out, and then when you all fall out, you want to expose everyone and act like you're a hero for doing it, and that's problematic as fuck.
Yeah.
Period. Totally.
No,
agree
but
with
that's
you.
all I was trying to put across, but I couldn't type it because it wasn't giving me enough space to type it, kind of thing.
Yeah,
but that's
no.
all I meant.
That's
So
all right.
don't worry, there was no fuckery ongoing or anything. I wasn't bringing any to your platform.
Listen, I'll be honest, Candyman, right? My mods literally forced me to unblock everyone. So my anxiety around having anyone in the boxes is high. So I apologise for the Remi aggression.
No, don't worry about it. Sometimes when you mention Candyman and fuckery and drama, they just fall together. So I understand where you're coming from with that comment. So no offence taken, don't worry.
Thank you. Thank you for being gracious, Candyman. And please send me a line. Thank you.
Justice for Remi's mods, please. Justice for Remi's mods.
Ban the mods!
Ban the mods.
I'm setting up a mod trade union.
Thanks, Kiki. We need one round here.
Justice for the mods. I'm doing a mods trade union, I decided. I'll be going around lives, checking on everybody, making sure you're being treated correctly.
Mum must be bullying me.
Paging, not paging.
Liar, I've sent you a
Really?
lion.
Can you see Hebel in the thing? Because I can't. Mine is glitching my end.
No, but I can.
Hebel says no.
Yeah, and I can't. I've got two phones open with two accounts, and I can't see you in the.
The bum on that moon triggers me heavily.
Me too, really bad. I don't have a bundle like it.
Look at
One
my
sec.
big booty.
It says that there's 3 people requesting the box, but we can't
in the
actually see the box. Yeah,
He's
no,
in the
but
box.
it says
Right,
that there's 3
everyone, I
people
love you all.
requesting.
I love you all. I'm going. Bye forever.
Bye
forever.
If you're requesting the box, put a comment in, and then we can see you, because we can't see you.
I'm going to be real, Zoe. I need to go and have a life, and I need to go and walk my dog. It's nearly 3:00 in the afternoon, and I need to get the fuck out because I don't even know what I'm doing or why this is even happening. But
touch grass.
Yes, so maybe we shouldn't. Is it Mother Teresa? Well, okay. MT's in the box and wants to come up. He can quickly. Hebel, do you want to say something?
Yeah, just a small thing. My husband's just walked through the door and I've explained what's going on. And he said something that I thought, yeah. He said, it takes no effort to do better.
Can someone mute me for a sec? Remi, sorry, I was
No
just
effort
checking
to
something.
do better. So can we just do better?
Love that. Simple and accurate. We can all do that. Thanks, Hebel, my darling. What did you want to say, MT? Sorry. Oh, well.
You have to say thank you to Jethro, King of the Pixies. that's my husband's TikTok name.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
MT said he's just checking something. 1 second.
Oh, MT is.
Good.
Yeah, no, you're right. Like we can all do better. Was he just trying to get up in a box or something?
Right, I'm gonna drop.
That's all right, sweetheart. What happened with MT? What did he say? Because I'm about to.
He didn't say anything. We went on mute and then he disappeared.
Oh, he said he was just checking something. Don't know what that means.
I don't think I'm going to be going live today, by the way, Remi. I am absolutely done.
Unacceptable.
Sorry.
Unacceptable, Hebel. No, I'm joking. Of course, it's fine.
I'm going live at 9:00 for a quiz.
Lauren. Who's Lauren? Right, I can see her name, but right, we can see. So what? We can see someone's requested the. Oh, I can see her. Let me get her up. I'm just getting her up now. I think I've accepted it. Oh, there she is. Hi, Lauren.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
I just wanted to talk a little bit about what's her face? The not very nice girl, Sophie. That's the one. I was gonna put a picture up because I had a disabled brother that passed away in 2016, and today I saw the image that Sophie sent.
Yeah.
and it hit hard because the same wheelchair, the same everything.
No. Oh, darling, I'm sorry.
Sorry, bear with me.
It's all right, darling. Take your time. Take your time. And this is the real impact, right? We've had a lot of people getting in this box today. So personally upset and affected by this. Like, this is real. And people keep saying, oh, it's just an app. Like, words don't have meanings. Like, this is fucking real. Take your time, Lauren, darling, honestly.
I'm back. No, so there was, my brother was 12 when I was born, so I literally grew up having to help and support him. And like growing up from the ages of like 8, 9, you talk to my mum that we'd be walking down the street and people would be staring at him and I'd have to defend him. What are you looking at? Like, he was just mocked and ridiculed because he was so clearly disabled. And it's just horrible to see that people think it's okay to say these. Like, Alicia will show you, if you look at the picture that Sophie, like, because I can't green screen anything, I think it's because of my followers. If you look at the picture that she sent and the picture of my brother, it could, from behind, it could have been the same person.
Oh,
literally the same person. But yeah, it's just like, what makes you think it's okay to say these things about people? You have no clue what they go through on a daily basis just to survive, just to be alive. And 9 times out of 10, these disabled people are the most incredible people you will ever meet.
Yes.
Ever meet. They're so intelligent, they're so smart. My brother could write with his feet. He could play a guitar with his feet. This bitch that's posting these stuff couldn't even string a sentence together if her life depended on it. And I hope karma really does get her, because that's what she deserves, for not even just the ableist things, for everything she said. Everything. It's disgusting. That's all I wanted to say. I needed to get it off my chest since I see that picture.
I'm quiet because I'm upset. Sorry.
Me too.
We're feeling it with you, Lauren. The passion in your voice and what you've had to go through as well, defending your brother and stuff like that. It's
Yeah, we'd be like shopping and there'd be people just standing there staring at him. So I'd stand in front of him so that they could just see the back of me, so that he didn't have to sit there and see that they're staring at him, because he has a mind. He's aware what you're doing to him.
Yeah.
He might not be able to tell you, can you stop looking at me, but I can say it, so I will say it.
Yeah.
So
and you're one of the people that has been personally affected by what's been said through these messages, and this is what we've got to. I think this is why this particular room is a place where you can come and you can get things like this off your chest, because it has upset you today, because you will get the support, Lauren.
Yeah, if my mum see the things that Sophie had said, she'd be heartbroken.
Yeah.
Heartbroken. My mum in 13 months had to bury her mum, her dad and her son in 13 months.
Oh, blimey. I'm so sorry to hear that, Lauren. It's a horrible thing to have to go through. It really is. And I can totally understand why you're upset. And it's okay to be upset as well.
I just really hope karma does its thing. I put that out there. I really hope it does.
And I think, I don't know, like this has really hit me in my chops as well. And your feelings, yeah, thank you, H, saying that. Your feelings are completely valid. And, you know, not just for your brother, but the words that you said, I think a lot of people can relate to it. Whether it's being looked at or sniggered at or being treated differently because it's the colour of your skin, or because you're trans, or because you have a disability, or because of any other reason, I think we all relate to that pain in some way. Or whether you have kids that have disabilities, or it's just, It's so hard and it is so hurtful. And I want to thank you for coming up and sharing your story of your brother, because we can all hear it and we all feel it. We all feel it. That's it. Debs.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you all listening to me and me blabbering on. But yeah, it's just, I just wish people would realise how much their words, as easy as for them to say, can hurt people so badly. And the thing is about it is they don't care. They, honest to God, don't care.
They don't.
And that's the realisation of this app and this world, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They don't. It's very much at the moment, the world is very much a me first place. And as I think was mentioned earlier, even in groups that have been formed, there's fractions in groups because of stuff that's happening, and the fractions either happen and people leave and split off in their own groups, or they will stick by because they don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
But that people... I think we would love it as a group of caring people if people did care like we did, and unfortunately, there's a huge amount of people on this app, especially, that don't care. But as Lauren just said, it happened very much off app as well,
in the real world.
And I think this is what people don't realise on the app. When you go out and about and doing your business and it's happening on a daily basis, your once in 3 months pattern that you're not going to admit is a pattern is happening on the daily for somebody the other end of the scale.
100%.
Oh, Lauren. 100%. Bless her. Lauren, Remi, and anybody in this room will tell you I do not say this very often or even use the word in any context whatsoever. But I want to send you so much love, baby girl, because, like, I get it on that level. I lost a member of my family, one of my cousins I lost who had severe disabilities. My partner's brother, after having an accident, severe disabilities. I've got a couple of Down syndrome uncles. There's quite a lot. So I really, really feel your pain, especially when you lose somebody. And like you said, you've had quite a lot of loss. I think even if one person, and I'm not talking about these extremists, I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, the extreme side of it is allowed to say it. But even if one person maybe would normally take something as a slight joke, just hearing you, I think, will make those people just think twice or question or challenge a little bit more. So I think it's really helpful, however hard it is for you. Because I know it's probably, I'm struggling myself, and I don't struggle very often, but I just feel the heartbreak. And as for karma, hun, I was raised with Hindus and Rastas, so I know all about karma. And every time, karma's like a tally. You get a point for doing something good, a point for doing something bad, essentially. And every time you say something negative to somebody or do something negative, let alone to these extremes, you're essentially giving away your karma. So we don't even have to take from them because they are just giving it away in buckets right now. Like everything's going to end up in a negative. So yes, karma will definitely do what it needs to do when it needs to do it. And it doesn't always come back to that person. Sometimes it will come back to people, this is just my personal belief, to people that you care about, so you really know how things hurt. But like I said, I don't really like wishing anything on anybody because otherwise I'm giving away my karma. But it will do what it needs to do. But I just want to send you so much love. And so, even the word sounds funny coming out my mouth, and so much healing. And as Deb said, which is really important, you are so entitled to feel the way you do.
Thank you. I really do appreciate all your kind words and everyone in the comments. I really do appreciate it. I didn't want to get upset, but it happens, and it's okay. It's okay not to be okay.
It is. It really is. And thank you for sharing that story.
Thank you for having me.
Anytime. You're welcome anytime. Let me give you a follow back as well.
Thank you.
Listen, guys, I am going to wrap this room, but I want to say, firstly, thank you for all of you being in here and being a part of this conversation and being respectful to one another and listening and being supportive. And that's why I fucking love this community so much. I know I started this live by ranting and saying I didn't want to do my FYP today because I was so angry. And you guys have kind of at least helped me calm down a little bit. And just thank you for the mods as well for keeping this room safe, protecting the comments, looking out and being supportive. Yeah, just thank you guys. And I just want everyone to protect their mental health. I know it feels a bit throwaway-ish, but there is a poll up there and there are numbers in that poll. If you need to talk to anyone today, if you don't have someone or no one's picking up your phone today and you need to speak to someone, there are numbers up there where you can get help and talk to someone today if you need to. Thank you all so much for being here, and protect your mental health. The app is really toxic right now, and remember, you have the ability to close the app on your phone. You don't have to go and sit in spaces that trigger you and upset you. We can all make those choices. So thank you all for being here, and I will see you soon. Bye everyone, I love you all. Take care.
Lots of love, Rem. Bye.